If I apologized to you on the phone the other day, I spoke to you on the phone for 15 minutes.
I can see why the guy's mad.
I apologize. Yeah. See, well, so can I. And I apologize to him on the phone.
You realize you were wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I apologize to him on the phone, you know? I mean...
I want to let all the people know what kind of a-hole he is.
Oh, see, now, Fred, now, you know what, man? Now, how can you say that? I've supported you everything you've ever done. I've been the one friend to you that you really know.
But how much of a friend? Are you with him? Are you with him to goof on him? Or are you with him as a friend?
No, one knows that.
Believe me,
do you think that's why I'm your friend? Because
you hang around with him. Admit you hang around with him because he's Fred the Elephant Boy.
I hang around with him because I got to know him. I known him longer than anybody else in the Whack Pack.
Yeah, he hangs around with me because I'm probably better than any other thing. Loser friends who spend all night going to bachelor parties, get drunk. If it was with his own friend.
You stepped over the line for him. You called his mother. You did a phony phone call to his mother.
Right, and I told him I was sorry.
Well, he can't accept it. Hey, Stuttering John, what do you want?
I was just gonna say that when I was gonna defend Jinx in the way that Fred's hit on every girlfriend I've ever had.
Yeah, but what does that got to do with anything?
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, he's friendly. Come on.
No. He hits on him.
What does he say?
He hits on him. Does he ask him for?
Well, he asks him out, and hey, why don't we hang out? Sherry,
is that true?
Too. Yes.
Did you ask Sherry out?
Oh, yes, you do. The one that was at Sundance that time when you were spitting.
Oh, come on. What's that got to do with calling his mother?
No, you know what the deal on Fred is? The rumor on Fred is he's notorious not for hitting on girls.
He tries.
He breaks up your if a guy's got a rap going with a girl and he's trying to get something going, Fred just barrels right into the middle of it.
Yeah. Kenneth Keith Camelback and his girlfriend Rebecca. Fred was calling her so much that Kenneth asked me to ask him to stop telling him.
All right, but that still has nothing to do with the fact that Elephant Boy, his mother, is getting phony phone calls.
I told him I was sorry.
So you do not accept it, and you are no longer his friend. Is that the answer to this?
As of this moment, the Whack Pack sister exists.
Fred, you shouldn't. I mean, I have been the one.
Did you just say the Whack Pack ceases to exist?
Yeah.
You're disbanding it.
Yeah, I'm disbanding.
Well, I don't know that you have the power to do that.
I thought it was your Whack Pack.
He can have his own form of a Whack Pack.
I apologize to you.
He can keep the name, but I don't want to be associated with his.
You know what, Howard? We were on the phone the other day, and we spoke for 15 minutes, and I apologized to him up and down.
He doesn't accept the apology. He doesn't want
it. He did on the phone.
Of course he did. He said he can't tell you in real life. He wanted to tell you here.
Because it's very hard. I'm not the type of person to go hard to other people.
So you said, okay, I accept it and goodbye.
Yeah, that's it. I just want to get rid of it.
Let me ask you something, Fred. Is there nothing he could do to apologize to you?
Maybe time. He has to shut up his act because I'm not, other than that, I would have nothing coming. I don't drink like he does. I don't smoke pot like he does.
I don't smoke pot, Fred.
Okay,
Fred, you know what? Okay, well, you want to go into some stories? We can go into some stories. When Fred started hanging out with the folks at school...
I'm not perfect.
Fred, if you want to go into this, we can go into... Fred, I have been a good friend to you, all right? I've been a good friend to you. I can't believe that you were doing that.
I feel like I'm with two mental patients.
Fred, you know what, Fred? I have been one of your good friends.
All right, okay. You know what I think?
And I already told you I'm sorry. I already told you I'm sorry.
Okay,
what story do you have on Fred?
Tell me,
No, you don't have any. He's a clean slate.
to be embarrassed about. And let me say, if I am nice to your wife, but before you, I'm sorry you won't hit on your wife. But I'm sorry, I say hi, I maybe give a peck on the cheek and that's it.
Don't do that. Don't peck my wife anyway.
Okay.
She can't stand
Fred, all right, Fred, I'm sorry. I told you that on the phone the other day. I told you
for those of you listening for the first time, there's something called the Whack Pack. All the imbeciles that listen to my show have formed together.
They found each other.
There are certain people who have risen above the regular listeners and have become something of celebrities on the show. Elephant Boy, obviously, because of his virginity at one time and his speech impediment. And, of course, Captain Jinx because of his phony phone calls to Larry King and all these various people.
I have a phone call here.
Did you make a phone call?
Yeah, I have a question to Jane. If and when Howard goes off the air, what kind of life do you live? Because it seems to me that...
Saying you will.
Your life, no. Your life is centered on Howard. When Howard goes off the air, I accept it like a strong group of my own personal friends and
you still have a group of friends outside.
And I probably have a quest social laugh with you. If probably going to a bar, drink, get yourself drunk, and probably end up doing something stupid.
Fred.
You're saying you have a life off the air and Captain Jinx doesn't. Captain Jinx lives, he has no life except for what I've given him. Exactly.
That would be that you would think that would be the truth, right, Fred? You've been down to my house many times. You've been to many parties that I've taken you to parties. I've hung out with you. And how can you sit there and say that? I mean, I don't get that. I've been to one friend of you. The one that you know you have.
You know what it is? Maybe you're a big shot now that you have a girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's cutting everybody loose.
Girlfriend, Joe Lynn?
No, he's got a girlfriend.
That girl in Cleveland.
Yeah. You don't think that's his girlfriend?
Oh, the girlfriend in Cleveland, I'm sure. He's told me a lot about her. We speak on the phone about her. I thought Joe Lynn.
No.
I thought he was talking about Joe Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right, well, it's sad that the Whack Pack is broken up.
I'm sorry, you guys are breaking up.
There's still a
Fred
Whack Pack.
dictates the breaking up of the Whack Pack. Fred will be out with me next week doing something.
You can do whatever you you want. Just don't.
He's just doing this to come in here and complain about something to get some airtime.
No, not at all. I invited him to come in when I heard he was upset.
Well, Howard, I mean, I apologize. I apologize to you up and down. I told you I'd call your mother if you wanted to apologize to her. I didn't say anything nasty to her.
That's one nothing to be sorry. My mother doesn't listen to the show except.
What did he ask for about duty? He asked you his mother about duty?
I said, Fred's being interviewed right now. Do you have any duty stories you can tell us about when he was a kid?
Mama, yeah.
What's so bad about
that? Is bad.
Well, I apologize.
Because why are you calling his mother?
You're right. I apologize to him, and I apologize to you. And
you don't know the lines. There's lines.
We spoke on the phone for like an hour, and I made up with him.
You can grab a sometimes shoot my mother and say you're sorry to me.
But it's a little different than shooting somebody about what I did.
My mother paid a room for the past couple of years.
His mother was with him when no one was with him.
Yes.
I understand?
Even
before you.
No, but like I said, that's something.
All right. Well, that's very
hurts,
sad.
Fred. I mean,
like I said, and my mother was dancing on the table after you called her. So
your mother was dancing on a table?
Yeah, no, I'm doing the second opposite. My mother was bending over what you said to her. She doesn't understand.
What did you say?
She doesn't know.
What did he say, Jinx? You're the only one who knows.
He said his mother was in hysterics after that call.
Oh.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Wow. See, he hangs around with him. He knows.
So I don't understand.
He's the only guy who can interpret what you say.
At least he understands his argument.
Fred, I'm the one friend that you know that you really have. And you know,
I have other friends who doesn't want nothing to be on this. So friends who like me just for if they never come on the show, if I never message their name, years from now when you move becomes a videotape, they will still be with me. So I will have a good friend there.
Years from now, I what?
I don't know. What are you doing?
What am I doing years from now? I just want to know.
No, I said
when I'm on videotape?
Yeah. Years from now when your movie is on videotape.
Oh, years from now.
I will have a good side fantastic with some.
You will have friends, real friends, but I'm already a big movie star and I moved on. I understand. Well, that's certainly good to hear. There's wishful thinking. All right, very good. Well,
you had so many before we met you, I can see.
All right, Elephant Boy has made his statement. It's official now. He's no longer your friend. And Jinx, you have apologized, but the apology not accepted.
You're not my friend. You're not going to play with me anymore, Fred?
I will never play with you. That's
really.
So you're never going to hang out with the Whack Pack again, Fred?
No.
Hey, Jinx, let's face it. He had 2 girls this weekend in bed with him, so.
He's busy.
He didn't do anything with them.
I was more than what you have to do in your fantasy.
Fred, I told you I was. Fred, I told you I was sorry. Okay. I mean, I thought we had this resolved on the phone. Obviously, you think that we should bring it on the air. That's fine if we have to.
I'm not doing.
So what do you want?
I'm doing it out of respect for my mother. I don't let nobody take offense with my mother. I'm
sorry.
I don't care if you call me a mama's boy.
You're right, Fred.
I'm not going to call you that.
Fred, I know your mother. You know, I mean, it's not like I never met her before.
You betrayed his trust.
Like I said, I can never trust you with my mother and tell her forever.
You didn't tape that phone call.
Was the one I had with Fred?
Yeah, no.
I certainly did.
You did.
No, you mean the apology, not the one to his mother.
No, I taped me and him on the phone the other day because I knew he was going to do this. So when you hear that,
how can you be friends with me when you don't even know it?
So who needs him?
All right.
Who needs him?
But you apologized to me on the phone. I played the tape back to you, and I said I'm sorry, and you said it's okay. I said I'm really sorry. I don't know how many times I can apologize.
I'm a too nice of guy. I mean,
But now
I don't want to get rid of you. I think this would be my first. Maybe we teach you a lesson. sometimes it's good to be Captain
right.
and other times to be Tom.
All right. Sometimes you have to be Tom. And
I'm one
sometimes
and
you
the
have to
same
be
guy.
No, you have to be like Superman. You got to be consistent.
Right.
Then I
So
would
when you
have
take off your
dual
glasses,
personality.
you're somebody, and when you put them on, you're somebody else.
You guys, he has two personalities, right, Elfin Boy?
No, I don't. I'm the same guy, and you know that.
All right.
The same guy that I am on the radio is the same guy I am. Period.
When once I go off the air, I'm not. I am Fred Schreiber.
You mean you
I'm not the
normally?
Elephant Boy when
you're on the air. When you're on the air, you're Elephant Boy.
Yeah.
And when you're off the air, you're Fred Schreiber.
Like I say, if I meet somebody, somebody new, I just say, hey, I'm Fred Elephant Boy from the Howard Stone Show.
Right.
If they recognize me, that's one thing, but I will never fronted that information.
Right.
What?
He doesn't give out that like Superman. He keeps a secret identity.
Fred, I'll say it again. I'm sorry, Fred. I mean, I thought we went on the phone.
Guns,
Whatever.
Let bargains be bargains.
Let bygones be bygones.
I'm not going to deal with you. As of now, I won't say nothing bad about you. I just got to cut the,
Cut the tie, the umbilical cord.
Cut the cord.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm really sorry, Fred. I mean, I'm not going to say it again either. I apologized to you on the phone the other day. I thought we had it resolved.
Okay. All right. Listen, Elephant Boy.
Okay,
what is it about the whole?
Before we throw out Captain Jenks, he came here to plug his gig.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to do is allow. Do you have a phony phone call for us, Captain Jenks?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Let me hear that, and I'll take a break. Is it going to be uncomfortable in here?
No, not at all.
I don't sit there.
Elephant Boy, you have to leave.
Yeah.
All right. He has to get to work.
Oh, yeah, and also...
Are you going to go be Fred, or are you going to go be Elephant
Yeah,
Boy?
I'm going to be Fred.
When you walk out that door, you are now Fred. All right.
Yeah,
and Captain Jenks walks out the door, he's still Captain Jenks.
Have we ever seen Fred?
Yeah, and...
Can we meet Fred? I want to meet Fred out in the hall. Have him walk in the hall. I want to talk to Fred.
When you know me as Elephant Boy, so it will be very hard to...
All right, tell the difference.
Okay,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and just to let people know that I'm going to be at the Ronnie Annex with Paul Gary.
All right, so Elephant Boy will be at the Learning Annex, and Captain Jenks will be there.
That will be the last time I will ever be with Captain Jenks.
All right.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we go out to dinner tonight? I mean, you can
No, I'm going to be busy tonight. I mean, when we go to have our thing with Gary, I'm going to be friend to you. Bob.
Right.
But there's been friendly culture by no more.
All right, listen, I can't take this. You're giving me a headache.
My ears are ringing.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It's straining.
This is like watching a foreign film.
You know that I'm a good friend of yours. You know that.
And by the way, when we show this on the E show, there'll be subtitles, so don't get nervous. Try to be running across the screen.
My special Chiron guy, he tapped the wall underneath. He will have a feast day.
Right, Chiron, yes.
No, the guy who watched the walls on the bottom of the screen.
All right, listen, you've said enough. You said a mouthful. All right.
Yeah, because he can't say Chiron.
All right, thank you, Elephant Boy. Oof, what's in your mouth?
Thank you,
Elephant Boy.
He came in with the booger and he goes that big.
Thank you, Howard. Yeah.
What is it, Jackie? No, all right, forget it. Okay, listen, okay. Thank you, Elephant Boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a break for commercial. Captain Jenks, you can quickly play us a phone call, and then you'll give you a plug because you'll be appearing.
I'm sorry, the Whack Pack is having a problem.
It's a sad.
No, we're not having a problem.
This has happened before, though, right? Members have left the Whack Pack before. There was a big split a couple of years ago, wasn't there?
Yeah. Right. Well, right around the pageant, the New Year's Eve pageant, the Whack Pack kind of doubled. So we got a bunch of new recruits. But me and Fred have always been like,
consistent.
Consistent, yeah. More
original members.
Yeah, exactly.
Sad.
So, I mean,
Hey, the guy's matured.
It's time to move on to new horizons.
We've done a lot of stuff together. We've gotten involved in a lot of hijinks together.
Right.
No more hijinks. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, all those...
I'll be friends with you, but no more hijinks.
All those zookeeper, things we went to and ruined.
Yeah, that
together.
Was the best. I have a good time with you.
Good. Bringing back good times.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I'm
Come on, Fred.
It's sad.
Don't be like that, Fred. Come on. I mean, I love you, man.
All right. Well, listen, the guy doesn't want to be your friend anymore. That's it. I'll help him out here.
That's it. That's all.
All right. Okay, Elephant Boy, understood. Understood. The mother is sacred. Listen, he's
Oh yeah.
He's no mama's elephant, but he's.
If I was right, Jackie, after I leave here, I promise you those 2 autographs.
All right, there you go, Elephant Boy. All right, the great Elephant Boy, we all love him. We'll see him at the Learning Annex this Saturday, and Captain Jenks. Hold on, we'll find out where you're going to be.
The dollhouse.
Oh, it's tonight at the Learning Annex? Okay, all right,
It's
very
the
good.
20th, that's right.
That's right. And, Here's the new Elephant Boy poster in case you want to see this on the E! channel. As you see, it says, time to move on to new horizons. There it is. New horizons.
Okay, let's start that for you.
So if you want to get that, you'll contact Elephant Boy. All right, very good.
Elephant Boy.
All right. All right, Fred, congratulations to you and all the women and everything else.
Thank you, Harry. Take care, man.
All right, there he goes, Elephant Boy. We'll be back right after this. Tonight we're here with Captain Jinx, who just had a falling out with Elephant Boy. I can't believe it's so important for you to maintain Elephant Boy as a friend.
Well, he's been a good friend, you know. I mean, me and him done a lot of stuff together.
Ralph came in and said, I can't believe Captain Jinx cares so much. This Elephant Boy told me he didn't want to be my friend. I just go,
I care for everybody in the Whack Pack, you know. I mean, we're kind of like, you know, good friends.
And also,
I'm sorry, Gary?
Also, you know, they're the early odds-on favorite to win an FME for Best Argument.
Yes, I know. That might be your first FME, Jinx. All right, Captain Jinx, where are you going to be appearing tonight?
I'm at the Dollhouse on Delaware Ave in Philly. It's real close.
You'll be in Philly at the Dollhouse.
What are you doing there, dancing?
Friday night.
No, actually, I'm DJing. And
that's a classy place. I've seen girls from the Dollhouse. They're real hot. I love nudie bars.
The Dollhouse is the place to go if you want to see beautiful girls.
Yeah, I'm telling you something. I've heard about that.
The pageant for the New Year's Eve pageant, with the preliminary was held at the Dollhouse in Philly last year.
So you can see Captain Jinx here. What is it?
I think Jinx has fallen upon some tough times because when he was calling me, it's like, you got to let me come in and plug this because I'm going to make some money and I haven't made any money in a really long time.
Yeah, because he gave up his job and.
Yeah, he's in show business.
I didn't give up my job. They more or less fired me.
And you couldn't parlay that into something else, all the experience you had there?
Well, he got a record deal from his phony phone calls, but the record hasn't been released yet, right?
We're still waiting on a release date.
But you did get an advance, and you blew it.
Well, no, not all of it, but he
spent it all on his phone bill.
Just about.
He reinvested in his business.
But remember, he was flying here and there.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, he got real extravagant.
Yeah, they gave him like 30 grand, and he went nuts.
No.
No, if you had 30 grand and you took a third for your lawyer and a third for taxes, what does that leave you with?
Yeah, and then he flies around the country.
Well, that was mostly on Kevin from the Newsletter's frequent flyers, Howard.
I see.
Oh, okay. He has a bunch of frequent flyers. I never flew anywhere on my own money.
Now, your first phony phone call is to the Mother Angelica show. She, of course, is the old lady who has that show.
The old Catholic lady.
The old Catholic lady who wears a giant wooden cross the size of it's bigger than the one Jesus actually hung himself on.
Now, Jinx's question only is over in the first 10 seconds.
Right.
The rest of it, you see, it's like a minute and a half, and I even cut it off. It's just her. She's really, really upset.
With Captain Jinx.
And
you're going to hell.
This is the closest I ever came to a nun cussing me out.
Really? Okay, let me hear this.
Hello, Mother Angelica.
Where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania. My name is Clarice.
And what is your question?
My question is, would you spread for Baba Booey?
Would you what? It's one of those bad calls again. You know.
Oh, my. Robin, would you spread for Baba Booey? That's a real bad call.
Oh, a nun.
I don't think she'd spread for anyone but Jesus.
Oh, my God.
I think so many of you out there are so sick.
Oh, here she goes.
And you don't really realize how sick you are. You call this station and speak to me and my guests in an insulting manner. See?
Oh, she ain't done with you.
I think in your mind.
This is to you.
Yeah.
She's just getting wound up.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot easier for her just to cuss me out.
She's about as close to God as anyone comes.
And yeah, she's skipping over a lot of words to talk to you.
This is a woman who wears, funny clothes all day. She's so devoted to God.
I only listened to this call one time. I can't listen to it. That's how brutal it is to me.
You better hope Jesus was a sham. You better hope Buddha's God.
You don't know any better.
You don't know any better. He's dim-witted.
And I hope and pray
right.
that you will look at yourself and think again of the dignity and love with which God made you.
Yeah, he'll think about that. He's thinking about an advance from a record company.
Yeah, he's wondering what he can do to you next.
He's thinking of what he's going to play at the Dollhouse while girls strip.
Reducing yourself to an animal.
To an animal.
What?
You reduced yourself to an animal.
Okay, I missed the whole point there.
The whole rap is actually 4 or 5 minutes long. She says a prayer for me. I mean, you figure the program's a half hour long, and there's 10 minutes of commercials. And
you had Mother Angelica pray for you?
Yes.
Hey, dude, way to go.
Mother Angelica doesn't realize it, but she just fed into the whole thing. He's
Now he's all
excited
excited.
about being 5 minutes of the whole show.
You're having a great run of luck. Elephant Boy hates you. Mother Angelica hates you. Who's next? The Pope?
He's going after Mother Teresa.
And McMahon hates
All right, here, real quick, here you
He
are
wants
with...
a saint to hate him.
You called Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan on CNN, yeah.
Okay, let's hear that.
Pretty good.
Philadelphia, you're on with Hulk.
Hulk Hogan, wow, it's an honor.
How you doing, my friend?
Artie, how are you?
Great, man. Can't wait to see you in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you when you come to Philadelphia.
Brother, who makes the Spectrum rock and roll better than anybody?
Hulk Hogan.
What's running wild in the Philadelphia Spectrum?
Hulk Hogan!
Who's got the largest arms in the world, brother?
Hulk Hogan!
And when he gets this chance, who's going to beat Ric Flair right in the center of the ring for the world heavyweight title?
Howard Stern?
Howard Stern. If I had my handcuffs on, if somebody put handcuffs on me and tied my legs together and blindfolded me, I could beat Howard Stern.
Big dope.
He fell right into that.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's great, though. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah.
I could tell.
When he was younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him you respect.
Yeah, him you like.
Mother Angelica can't get a
Right.
get a break.
Hulk Hogan's a good guy.
Kick for none, but...
Right. The Hulkster.
Yeah, the Hulkster. Yeah.
What's his name now? Terry Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Terry.
something like that.
Change my image. Terry.
When he leaves the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Like Elephant Boy.
He's two people. He's Terry. When I leave the wrestling ring, I'm Terry. I paint. I'm a relaxed man.
I write poetry.
And then the Hulk is somebody else.
Yeah.
Why don't you call his...
I like that hyper wrestling thing.
Yeah,
I don't know how people watch
you get
that.
revved up for that.
I don't either. See a big fatso in tights.
I saw Randy Savage on one of the talk shows the other day with all that get-up he has, you know, with the tights and the strings hanging from him and the cowboy hat.
That's an outfit you should light farts in. That's an outfit you fight people.
And he's out there screaming,
yeah. Anyway, Captain Jinx will be at the Dollhouse Friday night.
Yeah, the Dollhouse every Friday night.
Every Friday night?
Every Friday night. Yeah, this is going to be a weekly thing. So,
oh, good. So they're going to pay you some money and.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And you know the club owner Elmer says to whenever you come down to Philly, you got a place to go.
Tell him thanks. That's where I'll be. My wife wants me to go there. Tell Elmer he's right on target.
Well, do you have any plans to go into Philly anytime soon for anything?
I don't think so. Maybe. Who knows? You never know. All right, Captain Jinx, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
On your Dollhouse gig and your calls and your fights with all the people.
When can we expect that album? Christmas?
Yeah.
Well, we're just waiting for release date. That's all they told us. The album's finished, and it's really good.
He's on the same label as the Jerky Boys. I guess they didn't want him to compete.
Oh, I see.
I see.
Well, you know.
And Jinx hates the Jerky Boys.
I don't hate them.
Your material's better. You're funnier than the Jerky Boys, so you'll do fine.
Thank you, Howard.
All right?
You're a beautiful man.
And we'll see you at the Dollhouse. Because you're the right size for the Dollhouse. You're about the size of a doll.
They have him in a little cage there.
Yeah.
The Dollhouse in Philly on Delaware Avenue.
All right, Captain Jinx. And girls, look for Captain Jinx.
I guess he'll be.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is the chance for me to get me a really good-looking girl.
Yeah, well, keep praying.
Because there's many beautiful women down at the Dollhouse.
Mother Angelica said a prayer for you. Could happen.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. All right, so girls at the Dollhouse, look down. You'll see Captain Jinx and try and have a date with him. All right, Captain Jinx, we'll be back right after these words with more.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
All right, very good.
Here's Howard.
Hello, Howard.
I'm just cooking in here, making a little cuisine.
And what are you making?
A little tuna sandwich. I should show this on camera, shouldn't I?
Yes, your delectable meal.
Every day the boys have to watch me do this. I never have a fork. So I take a piece of this bread that is like cardboard. It's 7-grain bread.
Nothing. It falls apart when you touch it.
Yeah.
No moisture whatsoever.
And I open the lid and I pour tuna juice all over my legs, so I'm going to reek like a tuna.
So there's always a waft of fish in the room.
Then I have this can of tuna, and I now have to try to dump it on the bread. And I go...
Did you do it?
I don't know if the camera can see this.
It's the Galloping Gourmet.
Yeah. I dump it on here. See, and then once it's on here, see, Robin?
Yeah. Then you spread it around a little bit.
No, I don't even do that. What I do is I take it.
You mush it.
No, just like that. And that's what I eat.
It's delicious.
It's a can of dry tuna on 2 of the driest pieces of bread in the country.
How do you get it down without a plunger? I don't know.
Well, he used to eat that dry turkey. I never understood how he could do that.
I could do that, too. I could go right back to it any day now. Well, that's how I stay so thin and attractive. It's so important for my look. Ah, shut up. All right, very good. Hey, I got a letter. Let me just clear up the vice president of NBC, who was a good guy. I still consider him a friend, even though I'll never accept his call. And he said to me, Howard, or Howard, do the voice, Howard.
Listen, you guys can take the car home. I'm going to drive Howard myself.
He says to Robin and Fred, you take your car home. I'll drive you home. I go, oh, Randy, that's absurd. You don't have to drive me.
Yeah, because he didn't live anywhere near.
No, he lived in Connecticut. He goes, I lived on Long Island.
On the way at all.
Yeah.
It was on his way.
Yeah, it was on his way.
On the way.
I said, that's absurd. You don't have to take me home. What do you want? No, I insist on driving you home. Meanwhile, the guy could have talked to me any time.
Yeah, why do you have to come to? He would wait late. He could get off at 5.
I said it's a guy who don't want to go home. All right, but anyway, but that's his problem.
He's sitting in his office till 7, waiting for you to get off the air.
Yeah, and he would
fire you in the car.
And he would no. He would be dressed in a fedora, big hat, like the Godfather. Yeah, like a Godfather, and he's driving.
With that overcoat.
So here he is driving me home, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, I hope Robin and Fred are alive."
I hope they make it.
And it was so ridiculous because I wanted to be with Robin and Fred. Anyway, so he's driving me home, and he would literally, like in the Godfather, he would turn to me and he says, you know, if I was you, I don't know how to say this exactly, but did I ever tell you what he said in there?
No, I'm really wondering.
Oh, he would say,
what the hell these conversations
He would say, if I was you, and I am not you, but what I am saying is, there are people. I'm not saying which people. I swear to God this is true. I am not saying which people. There are people who do not want to see you here.
Oh.
So I would say, well, Randy, who are they? And let me talk to them.
These are people you do not have access to. Me, as a vice president, I have access to these people. I am your biggest defender. I am not offended by what you do. I believe in what you do, and I believe you will be good for the company. But there are those who are detractors of yours. And what I am saying is, I am begging with you, do not do bestiality dial day.
So I said, Randy, you don't understand. It's in my nature to do bestiality dial day. And listen to this. I said, and I can do it with class. Now, listen to this. And he goes,
oh, you're wacky.
I am sure you could. But I am recommending to you, I am not going to be your censor. But I cannot tell you what will happen if you do such things. Excuse me? I may not be able to protect you.
Right, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, you wake up with a horse head in your bed.
And I'll give you another piece of advice. You don't know Jackie very well yet, but watch your back.
Well, that did fail.
Right. No, but anyway, he gave me this whole lecture about how there were people. He couldn't say which people. And it was like deep throat.
And it was only bestiality. If it was...
No, it was other things, too.
And there were other things, too.
Yeah.
And I said, Randy, don't you understand? I am doing this for your company. I am groundbreaking. You don't want a guy who just sits still. You want a guy who...
I want a guy who does all of these things. I am not saying to you you shouldn't do these things. I am saying you must temper it. You must tone down and pull back. But that's one time. What? But that's one time. I think you should be...
No, it was more than one time. So he was saying, you've got to understand there's a line. And I said, I do. And then I remember he drove me home, and then he greets Allison at the door, and we haven't even had this conversation.
Hello, Allison.
I say, hello.
Yeah, why is your boss having you home?
And Allison has him in, and we're sharing juice, and so he sees Allison's pregnant. He sees the scene.
Yeah. You're packing up because you're moving?
Yeah, I'm packing up because I'm moving, and he knows. He's saying, listen. And he gave me 2 or 3 car rides, and each time he said, it's getting closer. And then by the last car ride, he said to me,
I don't think I can do anything to protect you anymore.
Oh, is that what...
You're out on a limb.
I go, oh, Randy, and I was in complete denial. I said, you're ridiculous. I'm making so much money for this company. I am this company.
You don't understand the ways of NBC. The television division is so big. They make so much money from television. They're like bloated pigs. If you were to go on the radio, and if you make them $5 or $10 million, this is meaningless to the corporate entity.
Oh.
He gave me a whole,
That's interesting.
And another thing. What does Fred do? There are people, and I can't tell you which people. They want to know what Fred is doing and why we're paying him a salary.
There are people.
There are people.
Jackie Mottling, for one.
Obviously, the people were...
Fred, even though they didn't know what he was
doing. He wants Fred's money.
I knew it was big.
Because he can rub him out.
I knew it was big when there was, you know, here it was... He used to come and give me the lecture, but it must have been Thornton Bradshaw when he gave me the big lecture.
Right, yeah.
And I was in denial, and I went on the air and I did it anyway.
Because Fred and I used to go home that night going, what did we do today?
Yeah.
You thought maybe it was a today thing?
Yeah, and I would just say, Randy, you don't understand. I know what I'm doing in there. Trust me.
Well, it's like, how could you pick from all the things that you were doing?
Yeah.
That was the one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And you know what? It wasn't even like it was Randy's dog that was going to be on Bestiality Dial today.
It wasn't any of their dogs.
First of all, the whole thing was ridiculous. We had the dog there, and there were guys calling in, and no one knows if anything went down between the dog and the people.
It was an anonymous dog.
It was an anonymous dog and anonymous people. And I don't even think there was...
very innocent. It was a chaperone day.
Yeah, it was weird, though, you know?
Yeah.
It was weird. And then when we got fired, you know, it was like it was still kind of a shock. But when my agent Don Buckwell came in and started breaking open the champagne and saying, I thought he was just putting a good face on it.
Nuts.
Yeah, but he was right. It was the best. I know you didn't mean that. But wait, start the question again because I had to bleep you. You used the S word.
Yeah, I know. I forget what I'm talking.
When I went home that day.
Yeah. Did you think that like, oh, I've screwed it up and now I'm never working again and I'm really nervous and everything?
Yeah, I was because I'm one of those 9 to 5 kind of guys. I always think it's. But my father put this in me. My father always was like, "You better not screw around with these people, and you know that you get fired as a high-profile job, you will never get hired again. And then what are you going to do?" So I was like, "Oh man."
Well, your father used to work on you quite a lot.
Yeah.
At NBC.
Yeah, he used to work on me. My father's always advising.
Yeah. I mean, he was the one who, you know, you're taking too many sick days, get out and work.
Yeah.
So you would always be...
Yeah, but my father, even with the material, would be like, "You got to cut back. You got." And I said, "Dad, you don't understand, man. If I didn't take risks in my career, I wouldn't be where I am. So what's good? What good is taking, you know, what is playing the safe road?"
Yeah, you gotta break new ground and let the other guys fill in the gaps of everything.
Why do you got to be so controversial?
Hey, screw it. Let's celebrate tomorrow. Doggy Dial-A-Day. What do you say?
Yeah.
Sir, do you have a dog?
No, I have 2 cats, though. They could...
Catty Dial-A-Day.
There you go.
Dial-A-Day. All right, thank you for the call.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll do the news for you right after these words.
Hi, this is Sandra Bernhard, and don't you dare miss Howard Stern. I never do. He's the hottest.
Thank you, Sandra. Well done. Well done, dear. Hey, for those fans of the Al Michaels interview, that's going to be on E! tonight, I think. Behind-the-scenes insight to the greatest phone call ever made tonight with Al Michaels doing the play-by-play. E! show last night with the Electric Comic Book Reunion. I understand that was very funny.
Yeah, well, that was the 8 o'clock show, so I don't know what that
Yeah, I guess that... Oh, that was?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we're on every 20 minutes, I think, on the E! channel. I think we are the E! channel. They're thinking of switching the E to the H. We're just doing away with all the pretense. I got a call from the vice president of E! last night, Fran Shea.
Oh, what did she want?
Who knows? I didn't take the call.
You don't even talk to her anymore?
I don't talk to her. I'm too busy. Much too important. No, I called her back, but she was in some meeting, and I just said, you know what? I'm kind of burnt out. We'll talk tomorrow. Can't imagine what she wanted. Probably want to complain about Fred.
What does he do?
Nothing. That's the problem.
Did I tell you about, remember my friend Angela who came in to watch the show?
Yes.
And I told you, you know, she sat there and she looked at the video cameras, you know, that were on each person.
Right.
At the end of the show, she said, what does Fred do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she went home and she was talking to her 9-year-old daughter. And she said, oh, I went to watch the Howard Stern show. Her daughter knows the show, likes the show. And her daughter said, oh, so you watched to see what it, you know, what they do in the studio? And she said, yes. And her daughter said, well, what does Fred do? That was her first question, unsolicited.
Well, that's everyone's question. That's why everyone tunes in every night. Why do you think there's such a high rating on the E! show? Perfect. People want to know what Fred does. And then they find out.
Yeah, this 9-year-old girl, first thing, what does Fred do?
Even the young children are confused.
He can't be figured out by anyone.
That should be the name of your book, Robin, because that's your most asked question. What does Fred do? It's a good name. All right. I'm not going to put Fred on the spot and ask him what he does.
No.
All right, let's go to Robin in the newsroom.
I am still very concerned about Judge Ito. I think he's playing this whole thing all wrong. Now he's writing to TV companies.
That's nothing.
I
should drop
personalities.
Should I drop a bombshell?
What?
Judge Ito wrote here.
No.
You didn't know that?
How would I know that? You don't tell me anything.
That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
You're not going to read us the letter?
Hey, Gary, ask Tom if it's okay if I talk about this. Judge Ito, he called yesterday and said, "What does Fred do?" No, and I'll tell you in a minute. One second.
He wants a letter of explanation.
No, Gary, go ahead. Ask
You're
Tom.
serious?
Yes. What?
No, I don't know.
I'm always serious when it comes to you.
No, when it comes to Judge Ito.
When it comes to Judge Ito. Tom, is that all right?
Yeah,
I guess it's okay, right?
Why wouldn't it be all right?
All right, just checking. It was not a letter addressed to me. It was addressed to Tom.
Well, they didn't write. They called.
They called?
Yeah.
Here,
really?
sit down. Sit down and get close to the mic.
I wasn't here when they called, so...
As usual.
Where's the dumb... No.
Please, Jackie, let me handle my show here. Okay, you'll do your show later. Yes, what is this?
It had to do with Alan Dershowitz being on the air.
Yeah. Now, remember when we had the lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, on?
Yes, who is a member of the OJ defense team, I suppose.
Yeah, we had to send Judge Ito a transcript of Alan Dershowitz's comments.
Why does Judge Ito know everything that's going on in the
I don't know.
Obviously, he is a fan.
Yeah.
Well, that's notwithstanding. He seems to be aware of everything that goes on in the media now.
Yeah.
He is totally affected.
Well, this is the criticism now. They're saying Judge Ito is trying to control the outside world, and you can't. In fact, Maury Povich and Connie Chung say, hey, screw it. We're going to run our interviews with that woman who wrote that book.
The only person who's backed down, of course, is Larry King.
Well, of course, because Larry King is, I think he's berserk.
He doesn't want to do any work anyway.
I don't want to offend anybody. I want to kiss ass as much as possible all day long.
Whose ass is bigger, Faye Resnick's or Judge Ito's? He went with the judge.
I'll go for the Judge Ito.
So the point is that we are now part of the controversy. I have kept a lid on this, but now I am ready to reveal.
Breaking all security.
Breaking all internal security.
Tell us what happened. They called. Who called?
I guess someone from his office.
Yeah. Judge Ito's personal assistant?
Judge Ito's personal, the same woman who pulls his rickshaw.
Okay.
She's that close.
Makes the calls, too.
Yes. I may call, and then I have to pull rickshaw around.
Oh, no. Judge ready to go?
Yeah, so anyway, I don't know what he was looking for in that. I mean, Dershowitz handled it professionally, I thought.
Because I remember pretty much almost word for word what was said, and there was nothing in there that I thought was bad.
Yeah,
wait for the trial is all he said.
Yeah. He just, he kept saying wait for the trial.
Yeah, I mean, Howard kept trying to get stuff out of him.
Well, the only thing
you got to wait.
I went back and listened to the tape. I was thinking because Dershowitz says there's something about a double knife. There's two knives, and wait till you see.
Right, I said that, and he said, "Wait, yeah,
right, wait till you see. There's more evidence that hasn't been disclosed yet.
Wait till you see how well we say this blood could have gotten here and all."
So Judge Ito's saying, if there's new evidence, why am I not hearing about it?
You wait for the trial.
No, he can't hear that, right? So why don't you bring it up now? Why are you sitting on bombshells? So I don't know. Judge Ito had
another controversy.
There you go. Another Howard Stern in the center of another controversy, Rob.
Constantly.
I'm involved in
You find yourself in the middle of the most precarious position.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the show probably is the only show that he specifically talked about twice.
Yes.
Right.
I thank you, Judge Ito. It is great.
Well, that's one thing. But when you start running out of the courtroom with books in under your arm, under your robes,
and transcripts of this show. Hey, Judge, this is a comedy show. I want to get taken too seriously.
Right, not to be taken seriously
at all.
When does he have time for all this correspondence? I thought a trial was going on.
Well, anyway, it was a phone call, just for your information.
No, but there were letters to Larry King and Connie Chung and Maury Povich.
I know. There's a whole thing going on. Well, now he's being criticized because they're saying, what is it? The judge is consumed with this television.
Yes. Why is he so worried about it? Life goes on.
Well, he's worried about it because he's trying to pick a jury, though.
Excuse me, Tom. I'm talking to Howard now.
Hey, Tom, when did you get in? Tom, don't you have a little room you go sit in?
Okay, should I leave now, then?
Anyway,
the point is the jury has to come from the public, Tom.
You can't control the media.
I wasn't part of this conversation.
Make your mind up. Made yourself a part of it.
Are you now talking to Tom?
Are you now talking to me? Made himself a part of it. Now I have to.
I got his headphones off. Let him go out the door. Go ahead, Tom. Thank you.
The point is that either he sequesters the jury or he doesn't. He can only control the jury. He cannot control the news media.
Right.
He cannot control the public.
All right, you don't have to explain to me. Tom is the thick-headed one.
I'm trying to explain to Judge Ito.
Oh.
He listens.
Please. Judge Ito says, to follow the trial properly, you must have newspaper, court TV, and Howard show.
He did admonish the jury yesterday not to read any newspapers, listen to any radio, or watch any television, and not to go into any bookstores.
Hey, that'd be good.
So there.
Jackie would be a good juror. He hasn't read a paper since he started on this show.
He also gave out Larry King's home phone number.
Who did?
Judge Ito.
Judge Ito gave out Larry King's home phone number?
Yes. I don't know what he's up to.
Why would he do? Now, wait a second. How did that happen?
He's a loose cannon.
What did he do?
He was telling the press that he had written Larry King this letter, and he showed them the letter.
Larry King. Larry King, his ego is, he's probably has, you know what Larry King does? He hangs that letter on his wall.
Oh, sure. I'm sure he loves being written to by Judge Ito.
I'm a power broker.
But the fact is that the judge then gave out Larry's home phone number without Larry's permission to the press. I don't know why. And Larry said he was even surprised. He was wondering why he was getting all those calls.
Here phone number. Plus, enjoy plenty.
That's pretty wild.
I'm concerned. I think that, Judge Ito might find himself not on this case.
I know.
Acting up like this.
He's more out of control than O.J.
Yesterday, they did make a motion that they delay the trial for a year because of all the publicity, because they didn't, the defense is saying, how can we have a jury with all, this book now, all this circus atmosphere around the courthouse and so forth. Maybe we ought to wait a year, let the furor die down, and then have the trial then. Meanwhile, we should not punish O.J. He should be let out on bail.
Sure.
And the judge laughed and went on.
I like Judge Ito.
Here is Robert Shapiro, though, to explain why they thought O.J. is going to be denied his right to a fair trial.
Our suggestion was that the case be continued for at least a year.
Oh, yeah.
That O.J.
That way it'll keep his name in the media. And also it'll...
They're the ones who are feeding this frenzy as well as everyone else.
And then it'll justify that $6 million price tag for that defense getting O.J. out for a couple of weeks.
Not be punished during this period of time, but that he be put on stringent conditions of house arrest, allowing the frenzy that has taken place to die down.
Yeah, like less frenzy.
Aren't his relatives on TV giving interviews? Why don't they stay home and keep their mouths shut?
Because no one can control anybody. Go ahead.
Here's more of Mr. Shapiro.
Hold on, you ready? Okay. Here we go.
Jay's right to a fair trial had been put in a position where he couldn't get a fair trial. And I think all parties concluded the pre-trial publicity has been so overwhelming that a fair trial is in jeopardy.
Right.
I gotta figure that O.J. will be released eventually because nobody has not heard about this case and can sit on the jury.
Yeah.
So he'll be the only man, the first man ever, who didn't get tried simply because there was nobody who could be impartial.
Put me on the jury. I can keep an open mind for about 5 minutes.
Here is Marcia Clark in court arguing that O.J. is not a good bail risk.
The defendant's prior conduct has shown that he cannot be trusted out of custody. If there were some measure that could be taken that would ensure that he could not flee
or kill anyone
other than custody, then perhaps that would be appropriate. And yet we're loath to suggest that to the court.
We're loath?
Yes.
Cool word.
Well, as lawyers.
I'd love to get her in the sack for a night. I think she's hot. I know what she lacks in looks, I guarantee she makes up for a wild time in the sack.
Why do you think that? What makes you...
I just have a vibe. I just have a vibe. She has wild eyes.
Yeah?
She has wild eyes and that body and the mini skirts with the body screaming to get out. I'm telling you that she is prime. She's horny as far as I'm concerned in my mind because she's in that right age group where they really... Right? Go-getter, type A personality. Super.
Good at everything.
Right. Wants to please.
So she wants to be good there, too, huh?
Wants to prove she's feminine as well as masculine in the courtroom, feminine in the boudoir.
Oh, you got
and she's got a nice body, and she loves showing it. She loves to be in her miniskirts.
Miniskirt.
Oh, I tell you, that is a party, boy, for some lucky single guy. Put me single, I guarantee I'm loving her. Just for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
have a little fun with that.
Thing for you and Marcia, huh?
She's inventive. I don't know, man. And OJ, you can let him out. Put him in a... You ever see those... When the circus comes to town, they have those cages on wheels?
Yes. That's what OJ should be in?
Put him in one of those, let him tour the country. Can all throw stuff at him. Be cool.
Paper's defense.
Right.
Sign a few things.
Yeah. Hey, OJ's coming to town.
It's the OJ parade.
Yeah. There's OJ. Hey, look, Ma, there's elephants and everything. And OJ.
Have a band. Yeah, it could be a big deal.
Yeah. Hey, Ma, it's OJ. Throwing some peanuts and stuff. That's wild. What?
You can keep track of them.
Yeah, no one would lose them.
Well, everybody could see a nice slow OJ chase.
Right. Yeah, they recreate the OJ chase. The real Ford white Bronco. All right, anyway, what else is in the news?
Well, funny lady Martha Raye.
Martha Raye, dear President Clinton, you took my wife from me.
Well, she died, Howard.
So Mark Harris.
She started in show business when she was 3. She was one of those
me too.
child actresses in vaudeville.
Right.
And then, of course, went into movies. And finally, she had her own TV show in the 50s, the Martha Raye Show. I had no idea that she had had her own TV show.
Oh, yes.
Here is a little bit of it.
Jackie taped this for us off his TV, actually, when it originally aired. So we're the only ones who have it.
Yeah, he was like, of course.
Of course, she had a show. I was 15 when that was on.
What?
Just this, as you were starting the story, I just took a personal message from Mark Harris.
I was wondering if
but he won't come on the air. He said, I said, come on, Mark.
He's in mourning.
He said, let her go with dignity.
Oh, let her what?
Let her go with dignity.
But what did he say?
Okay, well, he said that starting tonight, there's going to be services at the Westwood Mortuary in Westwood, and all the public is invited. There'll be emissaries from the White House.
And dancing at midnight.
And what about the disco room he built for Martha? Will he be holding a party there?
Laid out.
She should be laid out in the disco room.
That big ball.
He built a disco room in the house. Martha loved it. Martha loved the disco room. The woman had no legs.
You know what?
Remember, they even had that big disco ball in the middle of the room.
Her leg was hanging from it.
And there's going to be a national burial at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
And now, what goes on with the money? What about that conservatorship?
I didn't feel it was the right time. His voice was very low.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel it was the right time to ask him.
Well, this is his moment.
Are you sure? Where was he calling from?
From home.
From the bank.
From the bank. This is his moment.
I'll take it in Krugerrand, please. I have a plane to catch at midnight.
I'll be buying a quart of douche dash.
He's the grieving widow. I bet you he'll be wearing a veil.
Oh, I got to get pictures. Someone's got to get video of him at the funeral.
I'm trying to know who these emissaries from the White House are that are going to be there.
Yeah. But anyway,
the George Balanchine dancers.
He will be in heaven. This is his moment that, listen, this is a big moment. He's going to be the star there. This is Martha Raye's
last one.
Grieving husband.
Yeah. This is the big one.
This is number 7 husband.
I'll be wearing a pillbox hat.
They were quoting
with real pills.
Things that Martha said at the time she took Mark as a husband, and she said, this is it. This is the big one. This is real love this time.
Yeah. Who said that? She said, who's he?
Real love. And he made her feel young and very womanly.
When did she say this?
I don't know.
Oh, he said that she said this.
No, this was quote from Martha Raye at the time of their marriage.
So... Anyway,
I don't know who heard her say this, but maybe Mark.
This is Mark's big moment. It really is, because now he gets to be the grieving widow.
Well, all of these people who would have had something to do with Martha Raye will now have to pay their condolences
to Mark
or respect to Mark. Yeah.
Oh, and he outlasted all of her, all of her friends. Because didn't
what's he going to do? Didn't he just rewrite? What was that story he rewrote?
Victor Doyen Gray.
Oscar Wilde. I just rewrote the play to a musical about a garment center worker.
Updated it.
Yeah. Can you imagine Mark felt he could take poetic license with Oscar Wilde's work?
Yeah, because he was in the same hotel.
So what's he going to do? Does that mean New Year's Eve is canceled?
He didn't say that. I mean, I don't know what the period of mourning is. Everyone has different, different times. Mark's period of mourning could be a day.
20 minutes.
It was over a couple of months ago.
Yeah, didn't he take a new lover on?
I was thinking about him today. I said, you know what? What he had was, continental U.S. monogamy.
Yeah.
He was married inside the United States, but in Europe he was single.
In Europe he could have a guy's buttocks.
What about Alaska and Hawaii, Robin?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they're not part of the connected Commonwealth.
He was faithful on one side.
He was faithful on one side. Actually, he said he didn't go for any buttocks. He went another way.
What do you think?
Well, that's right. He was faithful.
Yeah.
I'm not weird.
Martha, that's yours.
Here's a clip of the Martha Raye Show.
Okay.
Well, I only try to help you, I just try to give you a bed and a room and...
No. We've spent a wonderful night together. At last, I'm going to be face-to-face with an old Greek masterpiece.
Well, right now, get face-to-face with a young Italian masterpiece.
Who are you? I'm Eddie. Eddie, the kind of...
Martha Raye sounds like Jackie.
Bedroom where, why are you...
Wait, Rocky. No, you don't understand. He's a very sick man. This is Edward G. Robinson.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. It's really him.
Right, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But she's funny. I think her marriage with Mark is funnier than the show.
I think her life was funnier than anything she ever did on.
Yeah.
Mark swears that all the money that he might have been entitled to has gone to legal fees, and there's none left.
Really? I want to check into that. We got to get him on the show as soon as he's over his grieving.
Yeah. And I'd love to see Martha's will.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be seeing that very quickly.
Yeah.
When does The Inquirer come out?
We got to get pictures of him at the funeral and what he's wearing and everything.
Yeah. Because it'll be one of his own creations, I'm sure.
I know. An excellent opportunity to show off one of his own creations.
Well, it better be good. He's had like 5 years to work on it.
Yeah.
Hot pants and a pea coat.
Surely this didn't catch him by surprise. He is prepared.
Is that right, Mark? He'll be wearing hot pants and a pea coat?
Hot pants and a pea coat, yes. And some lace-up.
Hey, we should send flowers.
Of course.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
How much would you like to spend? I'll order them.
Oh, something big. We want, and put your name on it. So you're well represented.
Is $250 too much? $250?
$2.50.
$250. We can go for more than that. $5.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jackie ain't gonna chip in.
And what should it say?
I'm trying to think what kind of flowers.
What should the card say?
Dear President Clinton.
Yeah, what do we send pansies? Let's send pansies. $500 worth of pansies.
I don't think I could keep a straight face ordering them.
Oh, God. We want $500 worth of pansies.
All for me.
That'll be the entire crop.
Is this a joke?
Oh, what beautiful flowers.
What should the card say?
Our condolences, you homo. We gotta write that with $500 worth of pansies.
I got a pain in my chest.
Welcome to the club.
I'm writing it.
Our condolences, you homo.
Oh my God, it's gonna stop.
Well, it should. You'll be in there with Martha. We'll have to send a funny card to you.
How nice. The third just sent the card.
I love those guys.
What does it say?
Our condolences, you. Oh.
How could they? In my period of mourning.
Where's my disco room? I'll
You're
retreat.
not going to be here?
Disco and douche dots for everyone.
Can we do that?
No.
Is that wrong?
Well, I don't know.
Sure it's wrong.
Sure,
Who's doing it? That's the question.
Well, let's just send them the pansies with something nice.
You're right. Keep the pansies.
Yeah.
Change the card.
Well, we don't have to spend $500 on pansy, do we?
Okay, I'm marking that down to 2.
$200 worth of pansies to go.
How many? I mean, how do you?
What is a pansy?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I mean,
little flowers.
Droopy little.
Are they expensive?
No.
I mean, I want to get a lot of them.
I don't know. If
200, I'm saying they couldn't be that expensive.
I don't even know.
If we go for 500, we'd probably have the biggest display there.
We should
Let's get the. What is that
cross.
thing they call? No.
Let's get the big cross.
The big cross of roses
on the coffin.
Isn't Martha Raye Jewish though?
Oh, yeah, can we get a Jewish star in blue roses?
Do they do a Jewish star?
Sure.
No,
they do anything.
Let's send the cross.
A cross?
Because cross is so much more tasteful.
Well, maybe she's not Jewish.
American flag.
You know what it's like to deliver $500 worth of Jewish stars?
No, why don't we have an American flag sent in flowers?
Oh.
Jackie got it, an American flag.
That's good.
Oh, Mark will love that.
And you get that thing, you can get one of those things that gets draped across it that says, you know...
plant her deep.
Loving... Loving friends.
Remember her legs.
Are they going to bury her with her legs? Like, what are they going to do?
Has her legs.
Who has her legs? I've been saving them.
I need to have a casket.
Get the leg out of the freezer. Right next to her ear.
What is he going to bury her in? One of those uniforms?
Yeah.
How he used to dress her up?
Big mouth.
He won't put her in a salute, will he?
Yeah. He'll put her in her Vietnam outfit, I think. You know, just go over with Bob Hope.
Yeah.
He'll put her in that, I bet. I bet you they dress her in full military.
Remember that party?
Yeah. She wore full military regalia and beret.
Yeah.
The green beret.
That's right.
Probably bury her in the green beret and full military gear.
And I'll be buried in a soldier.
Well, you know, it's our way of sending her off.
Poor Martha Raye has to be sent off in a circus atmosphere. Why don't we send, seriously, because Mark is a friend of the show.
I think the flag idea is
Flag
good.
is the way to go.
Yeah.
Big giant flag, $500. Red, white, and blue. If more be needed, we do it.
And what should the card say?
It's got to be big, though. We got to just say...
I'll ask them how big they can make it.
we get it there before the cameras get there. Because we want to get my name on it.
Right away.
It's Howard Stern show on it, on the flag.
Okay.
Yeah, Howard
How
Stern
about like from Howard Stern or your friend?
No. Howard Stern show. Because there's bound to be cameras there. Make it big. Tell them we want it real big.
You don't want to put private parts on it.
Oh, Private Parts the movie.
Coming soon?
Coming soon, 1995, Private Parts the movie. Put it on there. I'm serious. I'm serious.
You may be.
I am serious. And address it to the Twinkie and send it off. I like Mark. I'm sure he's grieving.
This is one of those things that if we do this, you'll read an article about you in like 5 years. It'll say,
cares?
He's so crazy he sent an ad to Martha Raye's funeral.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be cameras there, and I'm always I'm a glutton for any kind of publicity.
Okay, I'm getting to work on this.
All right. That's how I promote my film. I'm totally committed to it.
And Martha was in show business.
She understands. Nobody knows a plug better than Martha Raye.
Who loved to laugh more?
Right. Bring a camera, too, and have Mark interview the guests on E.
Give him a microphone.
Give him a microphone. Believe me, he loves a mic. It'll cheer him right up.
You'll forget why he's there.
He sees that many people, you know it's a party.
And you know he's gonna
for me.
And you know he's going to work this into a whole thing. Like he's like talking about Martha Raye.
Oh, yeah, he'll be doing a tour.
Yeah.
Retrospect.
Yeah.
You know, because he's always been talking about how he's got this biography plan, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I dig him.
So,
but he's,
I'm sure he's upset today.
He is. And in all seriousness, let us say goodbye, farewell, funny lady Martha Raye, America's treasure, America's best treasure.
Yeah, let's bury her.
When a national figure passes away, they always have, footage. They always have these things prepared in advance. You think there'll be any footage with him in it?
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody has mentioned him they haven't mentioned him by name.
Right.
But they've all mentioned him and his age.
What did I say? That much?
Yeah, that lead, age 43.
They're all jealous.
That barnacle.
He's all right. I dig him, though. Let's say a fond adieu to Martha Raye, America's greatest treasure.
Should have Basil do it.
Basil's a big Martha Raye fan. One of our interns.
I never knew that. Why? How could he be a Martha Raye fan?
Does he want to say a word about Martha? And a serious note?
We don't really know her except for Polly grip commercials.
How old are you? You're like 20, right?
25.
25? And to be a Martha, I mean, I really never got to even see Martha Raye. Except on some Bob Hope specials, but you're way younger than I am.
I don't think she stood up in his lifetime.
Well, no, I mean...
You never even saw her with her legs, did you?
I had to watch what was on the TV. You know, I wasn't allowed to have
watch freewheeling TV in my household. So
Get close to that microphone. What do you mean freewheeling TV?
You know, like I couldn't choose what to watch. I had to go in and watch what my parents were watching and my grandmother.
And what would you watch at Martha Raye? Old movies?
Yeah. And she did like Alice. The show Alice, she was on there some.
Yeah, and I don't remember what she did on there.
She played Mel.
Well, your parents are really grabbing some great shows for you to watch.
Well,
Alice and...
I couldn't watch TV until my homework was done.
Right. Well,
and then never got done.
Your parents were ogres. Yeah, I don't think that homework ever got... I don't think it's still done to this day.
He never saw
come
anything.
on. I mean...
Yeah. You must have been glad to go to jail when you finally went.
Free TV.
Free TV. All right, Basil. Do you have anything to say about Martha Raye?
No.
No? Okay. Thank you.
Oh, great eulogy.
Nice guy.
For a woman who gave you a lot of laughs.
I've commented on
And you
it.
hate Mark Harris, right?
I don't. I just
Come on,
prefer
admit it. You want to punch me, don't
All right,
you?
you homo.
You want to punch me.
See, you're a homophobe. Get out of here. All right, goodbye, Basil.
You don't bash gays, do you?
I hope not.
In your spare time.
I'm going to put it past them. All right, very good. So long, Martha Raye. We're going to take a break, Rob, and we'll finish up news when we get back.
Very sad.
Stuttering John.
This is Stuttering John? Now, this sounds good. What do you think? You like this? You don't like it. Robin doesn't like it, but... No good?
It's all right, I suppose.
Why did he flop, Robin? Why did he flop? Answer the question. You're a music expert. Oh, to me you are. What is your...
Ooh, you really want me to tell you what I think it is?
Yes.
No, I don't want to do it. Because I'm sure now he's really got his ear pressed to the speaker of the radio.
Is he too cocky? Is he...
No,
was the music no
I
good?
have said this to him before. I think now, see, he's definitely a talented young man.
Right.
And I think in the future, if he continues to write, he will write good music.
How much of a future does he have, though? I mean, how many times is the record company going to go to... You know?
I don't know, but, you don't write just to impress a record company. You should be writing because you have to write.
Right.
And I just think he hasn't lived enough yet. He doesn't have enough life experience.
We feel his songs were no one could relate to. But how come there are 20-year-olds who write songs like when Sting was 20?
They've had life experience. John hasn't.
I see.
What are you talking about?
Do you think the words did him in or the music?
It was the words.
The words.
Yes.
Interesting.
How about I just don't get played anywhere?
You got played a lot
you
in New York.
I did great in New York.
Did you?
Yeah.
How many albums did you sell in New York?
New York, about 20,000 records. Really? Yeah, that's pretty good.
How many did you sell in total, do you know?
Maybe 45,000.
That's not bad. Are they going to give you a second record?
Yeah, but this is without no radio.
This is without no radio?
Yeah.
Without no radio?
I mean, without any radio.
So that's with radio?
Yeah, you talking the songs only played on maybe 2 or 3 stations across the country.
Right.
Let me just say one thing. They played me in Nebraska. We were top 5 phones and tops in sales. That's all.
How many did you sell in Nebraska?
I don't know. 60. I don't know the exact, but
60.
There's about 5 people there.
No, but Howard. But then I played.
In other words, what you're saying, Robin, is a song like "Keep Off the Lawn" sounds like he never left home.
No, but Get Off My Lawn is about getting rid of a girl that has been bothering me for years, though.
Hey, what do you want from me? I didn't say that.
Yeah, but she just doesn't understand the lyrics then. It's about a girl who's trying to change me for like years.
You know what?
Why don't you say that?
When I heard
about a lawn.
I didn't have to guess at what he was talking about.
Oh, I see. Lawn is a girl. I'm supposed to know.
No,
that.
lawn is my mind. It's my brain. A girl's getting at me, trying to tell me how to be, how to act, how to dress.
Get off my lawn is get off my brain.
It's your brain.
Get off my cloud.
Why can't you just say get off my...
Just stop screwing with me.
Get out of my head.
Maybe Robin's got a point.
That's what it's about.
Why don't you call it get out of my head? Maybe you ought to write with Robin.
I can't wait till your book comes out.
So you sold 45,000, and that's in addition to the 80,000 you said you sold in your first week.
No, the 80,000 is still out there. But you know what? Guess what? I don't even think any's out there. I'm gonna start selling them just on my own line. Just
on my own line?
Yeah, because
or is that
there's no albums in Cleveland. There's no albums in Queens. There's no albums in Nebraska. Because everywhere we went by the record stores, all was sold out. It's a pain in the ass. So what do
you think? The record company doesn't want to sell any records?
I think that I don't know. I just don't let they're not in a lot of the stores.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
I was top sales in Philly too, and Washington.
All right. Top sales all over in total 40,000. All right.
Well, hard,
Hey, what do you want from me? I said it was good music.
Well,
Robin's
I
the one who said
haven't
it.
said anything to you you that I haven't said to you before. I didn't say anything on the air today that I haven't said to you before.
Hey, in all seriousness,
she's just, I'm surprised you have friends.
I am too.
No, listen, the guy had a bad break in a sense because you were hot in Nebraska and all the albums are in Iowa. So what could you do?
That is a problem.
All right, go ahead.
I didn't say that all the
Come on, let's finish the news.
Can I just say one thing?
Let's finish the news.
I would like to just write a song for you, move if I can.
Well, get in line. I've been approached by about every major record company to put together the soundtrack. For
but you know what I'm doing this weekend?
What?
I am doing Psychedelic B. I'm recording a great version.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that. Let me hear that, and I'll check into it. All right. Now, get off my lawn and get out of here. All right, very good. There he goes, Mr. Lawn.
My lawn is my brain.
My brain. You don't even have a brain.
I thought it was cool because it was, hey, you get off my lawn. Now he's telling me it was his brain.
His lawn is brown.
Insulting the lawn.
Yeah, but lawn is my brain. Both my lawn is my brain.
I'm as dumb as grass, so why wouldn't I say
And he's looking at you like you're an idiot because you don't know that.
My lawn is my brain, and my ass is my patio. What's wrong with you?
Come on, let's finish the news so we can get out of here.
All right. The Simpson family has responded to this book by Faye Resnick. Nicole Simpson's father says the new book about his daughter has very little credibility. He told New York Newsday that the book's co-author, Faye Resnick, was only an acquaintance of his daughter, not a close friend, as she claims. The book alleges, among other things, that Simpson stalked his ex-wife and threatened to kill her if she slept with other men.
Why does that sound like new information? It isn't. I mean, we've already learned that about O.J., that he stalked and...
Well, I think it's because, now he's, she also talks about his wife and says that she had an affair with her. Parents don't want to hear things like this. But you must understand, as parents, there's very little about your children that when they're not with you. They're not necessarily being your little angels.
Yeah, tell me about it. My mother still hasn't faced up to a lot of things.
Yeah, so anyway.
Not that she should have to.
She shouldn't. And this is a sad thing that this father has to hear all of this stuff about his little girl.
Nicole sounds like a great girl to me, boy. What a waste. Boy, if I could get my hands on her, I wouldn't cut her head off. I would not cut that head off. That head would be doing other things besides being cut off.
You'd find uses for that head.
That's right.
It was not worthless to you.
I count three openings in that head. Yeah.
I don't think he wants to hear that either. The FBI is investigating an Illinois family for driving a relative across state lines.
Now, why can't you do that?
Well, if you don't have a license, see, you got to be... You can have children, you can do anything you want in this country, but people you can't mess with, cars you can't mess with.
Are we losing our freedoms when we can't carry relatives over a state line? Is anybody else concerned about this?
They're investigating because Bruce Webster died of cancer while attending a family reunion.
Right.
In Michigan last weekend.
So they decided to bring him home.
On Sunday, the family propped him up in the van next to his wife, who is alive, covered him with a blanket to make it look like he was sleeping, and then they drove home. That's a 250-mile trip. Now, what do you do with a man in the car for all those hours? Do you talk around him?
Oh, yeah, do you talk to him? But I like how our laws protect, but they let the streets be a war zone.
Oh, yeah.
I wish there were more people in cars than out on the street running around with guns.
Police say it's a federal crime for someone without a license to transport a body across state lines. The family got home and reported the death there. They thought that if they reported his death in Michigan, it would delay the funeral.
I see. They couldn't part with the body.
They did have reasons.
Guess that guy couldn't chip in for gas, could he? No gas money here. Another stiff, pardon the expression.
At least he doesn't eat food.
All right.
In New Holland, Pennsylvania. Now, this is hysterical. 6 teenagers decided to attack a group of Amish, thinking that they were the sect that wouldn't report it to the police. The only reason they did it, they saw a bunch of Amish people. They said, those guys never report crimes to the police. They just turn the other cheek because it's part of their religion.
Yeah.
So let's go attack them.
Yeah,
and it turned out to be the wrong group of Amish. These are the group that
report to police. Snag. There are Amish that you can beat up and no one will say anything?
Yeah, they won't say anything.
Gee, I didn't know that.
But you got to know. I don't know how they're marked.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the scar.
Their luck. Their luck, there's no way to tell.
Yeah.
All right.
So they just attacked the wrong group, and now they're all accused of terrorizing.
That'll teach you something. I don't know what.
Well, you just can't tell with the Amish. That's
Right.
what it is.
Careful who you attack.
But what kind of people? I mean, look at the world.
I know.
People who will attack you just because you won't tell anybody.
Yeah. I got people in this room who would attack you.
That's why I scream loud and clear.
What else is in the news? Anything?
Oh, let me just check my list. Talked about Martha Raye. Where's my list?
Well, take a break and you'll find your list.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, this is Yasmin Bleeth of Baywatch, and you're listening to Howard Stern.
I'd love to.
What a pervert, man. I give him a hug, and he tries to rub my leg. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you know what to do, honey. You just were on camera, so you didn't do it. When a fox like me rubs your leg, you know what to do, honey. Come on. In the light, in the light, in the hair, enter light. Exit night. Take my hand. Oh, never, never land. 40-year-old guy trying to be young. Come here and give me a neck rub, Ron.
I don't rub necks. You got me confused.
Oh, yeah, you do feet. Come here. All right, what else? You got anything in the news?
Of course I do. Princess Diana has come to New York to hide from the media in London. She's overwhelmed by the press attention she's getting in her beloved country.
Yeah, things should be nice and quiet
the
here.
United Kingdom, because of all these books. The book about her lover, this James Hewitt, and then Charles's biography, or whatever it's called, that he contributed to, where he says he never loved her.
I wish she'd come on this show.
Entirely too much scrutiny for her.
If anybody sees the princess, tell her to come on the show.
So she's just decided she has to come here and stay at some luxury hotel
Big
for
dope.
a few days.
Yeah, New Yorkers aren't too nosy.
And there's no media here.
No. Good place to hide. You wouldn't go hide in Antigua. You'd go here.
Right away, yesterday, all the cameras were running around looking for her.
What else you got there in the news?
Jack Gordon is speaking to the press. Are they coming in here?
Flash's brother?
No, Jack Gordon, the husband of LaToya Jackson.
Yeah, they're supposed to be in here. I don't know. We haven't booked.
Yeah?
They're supposed to have their divorce on the show, but Jack's now saying there's not going to be a divorce.
No, I meant since that announcement that there was going to be no divorce, are we ever going to see them again?
Yes.
He's not afraid to appear in public with LaToya?
Absolutely not.
And let her speak?
He's coming in here very soon.
All right. He says that, or it says in page 6 today, that Jack sent a messenger yesterday to a different light bookstore on West 19th Street to pick up 3 items. The Advocate, the gay weekly, Dameron, a dress book, a gay travel guide,
right,
and the unauthorized new biography of LaToya's brother Michael Jackson by Christopher Anderson.
Well, it's good to read some gay material before you read the Michael Jackson thing.
What, do you have to get into a mindset?
Yeah, it sort of gets you going. No, he is not. If they're trying to imply that he is...
Is there a clue here?
No, he is not gay. No.
Why is he sending for this stuff?
I have no idea. Hey, listen, I send for that stuff, and I am as hetero as they come.
Sure.
I've had one experience that can almost be not even. Some guy came on to me. That was it.
I find it incredible that you defend him so vehemently.
I'll defend him on that. He is.
What is this all about? You know show business better than me.
Thank you.
Best in this room, I would imagine.
I'm probably the most qualified to answer show business questions, considering I'm involved with them. In fact, I was on the phone with a very big starlet's agent the other day with my director, John Hamilton, as we began a discussion about who will play my mother. Go ahead.
A starlet's agent?
Well, aging star. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. This woman named Jane Cotolo.
Yes.
She's from Berkeley, California. Now she's suing Miramax Films.
That's right.
For falsely advertising that it was #1 at the box office with its movie Pulp Fiction this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
She feels that they lied about their box office receipts in order to make themselves #1.
Right.
So she is now suing them.
And who does she represent?
She represents herself. She's
And
a
who is
private citizen.
She wants to sue the Miramax for lying?
She is going to sue Miramax for lying about being #1, and she wants them to give back money to advertisers or other people who might have lost money as a result of them claiming to be number one. She has a similar suit.
This isn't the realm of show business I know about.
She has a similar suit against Universal's In the Name of the Father that hasn't come to court yet.
All right, what is your question?
What the hell is this all about?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Who cares?
Well, it is a big thing because if you can falsify that you're number one at the box office, when you're number one, it gets people's attention.
But don't tell me she's just a moviegoer.
I don't know what she... Listen, I'm an expert in show business, not in... What's her name?
Jane Cotillo.
Yeah, I don't know what she's up to.
Somebody's behind this.
Right. Jackie Marlowe.
She is no plain old moviegoer.
Would you like to know who's going to play my mother in the movie?
No, you're not going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't want to know then.
Okay.
Who is it?
We want to know.
Jackie Marlowe.
Lucy. Not Lucy. Not Lucy. Not Lucy Ball.
No.
Lucy.
No. She's not playing
Of
your
course
mother.
not. Wouldn't even let her near the set. Go ahead.
Couldn't stand that. What are you going to do with that extra hour that you get on October 30th when time goes back?
I'm going to kill
myself.
I'm going to kill myself. Oh. What am I going to do with the extra hour?
Yeah, they did a survey.
I'm going to bang my fist into a sheet of glass.
For an hour?
Yeah.
They surveyed the Tag Heuer Company.
I'm thinking of masturbating, actually, that extra hour.
Actually surveyed 1,000 people. 51% plan to exercise. That includes playing sports or going for a walk or a ride. 15% will catch up on work or putter around the house.
How many guys are going to do their fist?
13% will catch some much-needed rest. 8% will hang out with friends and family. 4% will read. And using the extra hour to appeal to only 1%.
Oh, my. Gary says he's going to sit on the toilet and read People magazine.
Yeah, and get some ideas for the show.
Get some ideas for the show.
Well, that's good of him that he's going to be working in that extra hour. Did you see, I meant to bring this up the other day, but they're saying that Roseanne is engaged.
That's right.
To this new guy now.
Yep.
And is going to get married again.
Oh, you saw them in here. They were quite their love match.
But why does she have to get... Does she understand the concept of time? You don't have to get married right away?
Do you understand the concept of being overweight and it's hard to hold on to a guy unless you give him something like major like marriage?
Come on. She's got to know. She's got a lot more. She can dangle a lot of different carrots besides marriage.
She eats them.
She eats them.
She can't dangle the carrots because she eats them.
She's as stable as an ice cube in a forest fire. Thank you.
All right.
All right, very good.
That's what's happening.
Thanks, Robin. Let me remind you that Jackie Marlowe will Jackie New Rape Joke Page Marlowe will be selling a comedy CDs and cassettes for only $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. The Halloweeny special, buy two, get one free, which is nice. Call 1-800-323-KING. And tomorrow night, for those of you who want your Jackie fix live, there's a big show at my father's place, formerly Jimmy's Comedy Alley on Bell Boulevard in Bayside, Queens. For information and jokes, call 516-9221. Go see Jackie, the only comedian not invited to Dennis Wolfberg's funeral. Okay, very good. All right, here we go. Is that right?
Probably.
All right. He's always bragging, even when he's not invited to a funeral. Friday night at 8 p.m., it is Sinead O'Norris at Downtime in Manhattan. That's Fred Norris's band, Sinead O'Norris. Also, catch the E! Show tonight with Al Michaels. Going to have that on. That's where we explore the Vafafui phone call.
Yes, and get behind-the-scenes details as to what was going on at ABC that night.
Spend an evening with Baba Buhai at the Learning Annex this Thursday night. That's tonight. He's hosting a lecture. Call 212-570-6500 for more information. Join Boy Gary this Friday night at New York's Paradise Club on 33rd Street with special guest John Wayne Bobbitt. Stuttering John's band will be... sorry, John Wayne? All right. Stuttering John's band will be appearing at Lemoore in Brooklyn this Friday night, October 21. And to get on Stuttering John's mailing list, call 201-942-OUCH. And if you're planning a wedding or Christmas party and you need that mobile DJ, you know who to call. Who? Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment at 718-BAG-5040.
KDGL.
Wear it. And it had a number on it and everything. I said, what do you do with it? He said, you know what I like to do? I like to go up to cops and ask directions. And then the cop looks at me like, is this an escaped prisoner asking for directions? And then the cop has to say, no. Why would an escaped prisoner
to be
ask me directions? Then the cop would say, but wait a minute. How about a brilliant escaped prisoner who would think that the cop would think I'm not an escaped prisoner when I really want directions? And Rickles said, Lenny, get a job.
Oh, my God, that's so funny. That's great. Just reduce him to that. Did you go to Don Rickles' tribute?
No, I was not invited.
You were not invited? I'm surprised.
Yeah, I came in, I was in town, and I love Don, and Don...
What a genius he is, right?
He is.
If you want to learn how to be a great guest on a talk show, you watch Don Rickles.
Correct. He knows what he knows. I've had so many funny instances with him. I've been in audiences with him. I've been, for example, years ago in Miami Beach, I've got very friendly with Sidney Poitier, but I didn't know him then.
Right.
And I ran in late. I got off the air and ran late to see Rickles at the Eden Rock. And I sat down. I took my late mother with me, and she sat with me. And Poitier came in late.
Right.
He was doing a movie, and they sat him right next to us.
Right.
So now we're sitting, me, Poitier, and I was well known in Miami.
Right.
And Rickles walks on stage. He looks down, and he says, Larry, you'll hang around with anything.
So damn quick.
Oh, and then he said, hey, Sidney, you're not going to enjoy it here. There's no chicken. There's no watermelon. And then he'll turn around
and
to the
by
band.
the way, you never said anything like that back then. I mean, that was insane. And he got away with it somehow.
He got away with it because he was loving. You know, you knew that he was really a sweet guy. I mean,
you knew he wasn't a racist at heart.
Oh, no, never. He never cursed on stage. Never cursed. Never used bad language.
No, because I went to dinner with him recently, and I said to him, how did you get away with going like to Sidney Poitier and doing some kind of racial humor? He says, no one ever thought I was evil or bad. They knew I was good at heart.
He never was evil. Well, let's all Americans. Like, we do those.
Yeah, but I don't even think he understands how he got away
Everybody
with it.
stand up and let's praise each other. Let's, an example, we have some Arabs in the audience. Would you stand up? Stand up. Look at these. They're ordinary gentlemen. They're every day. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Get a machine gun, mow them down. But he could just be... Don is... He did a movie called... with Clint Eastwood in Yugoslavia, Young Warriors or something, a war movie.
Yeah.
And I get a letter from him. Dear Larry, you know how boring Yugoslavia is if I'm writing to you.
So great.
How dull it must be. He said, I don't want to say the country is poor. We were going to go out tonight, but Tito had the car.
Like,
That's
he could
funny.
just be funny in a letter.
Oh, he's never not funny. The only person...
Was Jackie Gleason funny off the... No, he was a serious guy.
Gleason was a comedic actor.
Right.
He wasn't
not a comedian.
Not tell jokes. He thought funny.
Right.
You know, he thought things funny, but he was not a comedian.
Was he out of control?
No, never. We drank a lot.
Right. But women, though? Tons of women, right?
A lot of women, but a good guy. Golf was his passion.
Right.
But he was a genius. But the true, most brilliant person of all is Mel Brooks. There's no one in Mel's league because Mel has enormous intellect and is incredibly funny. And at any minute, at any moment, you know, his son Max wrote World War Z.
I know.
Yeah.
But Mel could be, I'll give you a quick Mel story. The World's Fair in New York, 1964. They had a World's Fair here. There's still replicas of it on the Parkway.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
So I come up to do my radio show at the World's Fair, and Mel Brooks is my guest. And I said, do you want to play the 2,000-Year-Old Man? That's the most genius album ever made.
Right.
Here's a man who's 2,000 years old, and he doesn't know what you're going to ask him. So I said to him, we have a man here, he's 2,000 years old. So the first question is obvious, what do you think of the fair? The World's Fair. He goes, fair. Wait a minute, you call this fair? Fair. Were you at the first fair, he said to me? Were you at the first fair? No, the first fair was in 0087. The whole world came, 713 people.
Yeah.
The whole world. And then he starts rambling.
Yeah.
There's no means of transportation. So they put the fair at the bottom of a ravine, and people rolled into the fair. And the people became their own exhibit. Watch them roll in. Then I said,
whole world showed up.
I said, look at what we have here. We have the monorail. He said, that was good. The monorail, that's good. Look at this. We have automatic things and things propelling to the sky. Yeah. Did you have the burning bush? We had the burning bush. We thought it was a ride.
And he was ad-libbing all of this.
Then he goes like this. I said, what was the big hit of the fair? Oh, big hit was Moses.
Right.
What did he do? He parted the Red Sea 3 times a day, 4 times on Sunday, 6 drachmas.
Like a dolphin show.
6 drachmas. He had a press agent, Marty, went over to him and said, Moses, you keep this up, I get you 10 pages in the Old Testament.
Oh, my God.
To think of that.
Yeah, off the top of your head. Yeah.
He's just... Did you know Columbus? Oh, what a dancer. The best dancer in Genoa. You know, the Queen had a husband whose nose went out and made a left turn. so she gave Columbus money to take an apartment in Paris. He bought chips.
It's unbelievable that guy's that quick. And I know.
Unbelievable.
Unreal. And people forget that when he wrote Blazing Saddles, he wrote it with Richard Pryor. The two of them writing together in a room. Isn't that mind-blowing?
How about all the music he wrote for the producers? He wrote all that music.
Yeah,
that opening night, sitting next to him at the producers, was one of the great events of an opening night event of my life.
Does a guy like that still get nervous on an opening night?
He laughs, he tumbles. Why? And he'll get.
He doesn't worry about whether the things are hits?
Why aren't they laughing?
You
know, if you go by one, I wrote that funny. Why aren't they laughing? Oh, at intermission, a guy came running up to him. Did you see the producers?
I didn't. I did not. I mean, I know the movie. I don't know the. Right.
A guy comes running up at intermission. I am mad at you, Mr. Brooks. I was in World War II, and this is a shameful thing you're doing, saluting Hitler and making fun of this. I was in that battle. I fought for this country. And Mel said to him, "You were in World War II?" Yeah, she says, "I was in World War II. I didn't see you."
And then the guy shut up?
Yeah, he runs. I didn't see you. Because he does it so. You ought to get Mel here.
Yeah, well, I would love that. I just was watching that AFI tribute to Mel Brooks. It was really, really good. I mean, it was really compelling. I mean, the other one I'm watching, too, and I know Robin is the Richard Pryor one, too. Did you ever interview him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful man.
What a brilliant guy, but wow, how troubled was he?
Very troubled. But he may, other monologists call him the best.
Yep.
If they talk about who we revere, they go to Pryor. Probably because of risk-taking, right? And he had Chris Rock is a transcendent from him.
Chris Rock is a genius.
Oh, did you see the play he did?
I didn't see the play.
I didn't go to see the play, but we've seen him on stage many times.
He was brilliant. He was a terrific actor.
Yeah, but his stand-up is unbelievable. And Eddie Murphy was amazing. Amazing stand-up. Jerry Seinfeld's coming in a few minutes. Another amazing stand-up. Endless amounts of material.
Jerry worked so hard at it. I did a movie with Jerry, the Bee Movie. I was Larry D. King. It's all about bees.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Bee Movie.
Yeah, and he had me underground. I'm a bee doing the show, and he says to me, there's a guy up on Earth named Larry King. He does a show. He says, well, I don't care.
Jerry got, I don't know if he got angry with you, but he got annoyed with you.
When I asked him.
You were interviewing him.
Yeah, and I said, why did Seinfeld go off the air? Why did they take you off the air? He got very mad. Because they took himself off the air. They were never taken off.
He wanted to go out on top.
I didn't know that.
Right.
And I apologized later. We were fine with it.
But you can't possibly know everything with the amount of interviewing.
And I also don't read. I don't read a lot of stuff like why a show left the air.
But I never believed that about you.
I don't read tidbit stuff.
Yeah, I understand it, but you must have done research on your guests.
I did do some research. Can't do everything. There's no perfect interview, Howard. Maybe you.
Well, beside me. I'm so perfect. I'm so wonderful.
But you have all those producers, Larry, so don't they prep you?
I get information.
Yeah.
So to sum up, you're happy now. You're on first of all, let's mention that Larry King now is on Hulu and Aura.tv.
Correct. They distribute it. I'm also on Artie, the Russian network. I'm licensed.
What's that about?
That's licensed to them, and they broadcast
the same show.
They license it out, and they do a political show, and I'm not employed by the Russian government.
You're happy. You don't miss the dating because you were a dater.
I don't miss it.
You don't miss it at all.
No.
But do you still have that urge sometimes when you're sitting across the desk and a beautiful woman?
Yeah, I got to tell you.
What the hell happened to you?
I had prostate.
You had prostate cancer. That'll do it. Yeah,
I had prostate cancer and I had radiation, and that cured it. So I am totally prostate cancer free. However,
you did not do the operation.
Did not do the operation.
And you say, however,
there's a side effect.
You can get it up.
You gotta have
Viagra?
No, I can't. I'm a heart patient, so you can't take Viagra.
So what do you do?
Yeah, I'll do things.
You can. You always find a way.
You find a way, but I don't have. It's there's a nice peaceful thing. I don't lust anymore.
Right.
And,
is that a peaceful thing for you?
Absolutely.
And you get a lot more done, don't you?
You do.
Yeah.
And there's no complications in your life.
Yeah. In other words, you're a good husband.
Sex screws up your life.
It does.
You're never in danger.
You're right, and you're focused on your family.
Correct. I will never be seen going into a motel with them. That will never happen.
It ain't worth it.
You know, one thing on Lenny Bruce before I go. Right. Lenny Bruce used to say, if you're a cheater, the people never believe honesty. So if you want to cheat, take the girl you're cheating with and go into the lobby at a Fontainebleau hotel and say, "This is Irma. I'm taking her upstairs. Everybody get a good look." It's Lenny.
Yeah,
he's getting around.
Him, yeah.
But take it to the Tic-Tac-Toe Motel, 46 miles out of town, and your wife's cousin's behind the desk.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know you had prostate cancer. You know, I have friends who have had prostate cancer, and they describe to me it's just a nightmare in the sense that you never pee the same way.
You pee a little more.
Yeah.
But and there's no pain involved. You take the test. I sometimes wonder. I had it on. They do a biopsy, and they give you 10 little things. On 2 of the things I showed positive. They wanted to be. The guy says, you can live to 95, 98 if we do this radiation.
Right. Or if you hadn't done the radiation, probably you could have lived with the prostate cancer, possibly.
Maybe you die with it, not of it.
Yeah,
maybe.
Right. And you don't know.
You roll the dice.
You still miss smoking cigarettes?
No.
And not at all?
Did you smoke?
I did.
I had a heart attack, and that day I stopped smoking.
I know, but do you ever think about it?
No.
And isn't it amazing what a waste of time it is? Smoking.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad habit. Because it felt good, it was an oral habit. But last night I saw a play, Lucky Guy. Tom Hanks is freaking brilliant.
Wow.
And everybody smokes in the play.
Was it driving you nuts?
Oh, no, but there was a moment urge where I said,
that looks cool.
Looks pretty cool.
Well,
Howard, I love being with you, Howard.
Love being with you, Larry.
Now, you got to do my show.
Yeah, I'm going to have to come on your show.
You're going to come on my show.
Yeah.
I'll come to New York. You'll do my show. You'll love it.
All right.
You know what, Larry?
Come on, don't give me the all right.
All right.
The one thing Larry doesn't probably know, Howard, is, you were Larry was one of the first people to ever interview you on a national show.
Is that right?
When he put you on his radio show at night.
Correct.
And
the all-night show.
You were very excited about doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, can you imagine?
I propelled you.
Yeah, why don't I remember this experience?
You were on you were on WWD. You know why you don't remember? Because you forget things.
I forget everything.
You know what? He wasn't on WWDC at that time. We were in New York on WNBC because I remember you had to go to Washington.
Correct.
That evening.
All right.
To do the show.
Well, thank you. Even though I don't remember it, thank you for doing it.
Well, it's nice to know I made your career.
Yeah, there was one thing. I was going to ask you made a lot of money in your lifetime, and you certainly have enough money to live the rest of your life, whether you work or not. And
I got 2 kids, and I got a house. I got to support the house.
Did you become not an entire victim of Bernie Madoff, but did you invest some money with Bernie?
I'll give you a quick Bernie Madoff story.
Okay.
Freddie Wilpon, the owner of the Mets, is a great friend of mine, and we went to high school together. And he says, who handles your money? I said,
somebody, yeah.
So, no, a company. He said, I'll try to get you with Madoff. Because Madoff.
Do you a favor.
He turned down a lot of people.
Right.
He turned down my brother. And I never met Madoff, never spoke to him. And Freddie called me one day, and he's all excited. He'll take you.
Oh, God.
So I gave him money. It's a true story. I gave him money over the years. I would give him money, take out money,
Right.
So over the years, I gave him $4.8 million.
Right.
And took out $4.1 million. Over the years, insurance things. And when you took out money, it was wired in immediately.
Right.
There was no one faster than Madoff. If you said we need 300, bang in the bank. Okay. So my wife said to me one day, "Why don't we give him everything?" We started at $250,000. Anyway,
listen to that one.
I was down $700,000. No, the day he was arrested.
Right.
I was
down $700,000.
Down $700,000.
And I got $200 back from the Madoff people.
Right.
The guy handling his, and the government gave me $500.
Right.
For paying taxes on stock I never had.
Right.
But how he pulled that off, his Ponzi scheme.
Right.
He had 3 Jewish accountants from Yonkers. No one ever heard of. They said it. But he was so believable. I mean, Freddie, Freddie had dinner with him the night before he was arrested, never said a thing.
Everybody trusted him and loved him.
You would get letters that it's a bad month, I'm buying treasuries, right? He never bought a treasury. He never bought
a stock.
But he had the whole thing going, and he had it worked out.
Until the Bank of Scotland hit him for $50 million. And he couldn't.
He couldn't cover it.
Couldn't cover it.
That's right.
So they blew the clue. One guy knew him. He was a fraud, and no one listened to him over the years.
You know what you ought to do?
Wouldn't he be the greatest interview?
Oh yeah.
I mean, what a mind.
Yeah, but do me a favor. Introduce Freddie Wilpon to Piers Morgan. And let him give him investment advice. And then you'll be even. All right, listen.
Hey, Howard, thanks.
Larry King on Hulu and Aura.tv.
You got it. And you can see me on RT.TV as well.
Okay. And thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Howard.
All right,
anyway, you're doing my show, Howard. We'll have a lot.
So.
Come on,
Do
Howard.
I have to?
Did I help your movie?
Yes.
Okay.
You did? What do you mean, did you help
you made your movie. You came on my show.
I did? I don't remember.
He's smoking again, huh?
See how you remember interviews and stories and things? Yeah. I can't do that.
You're still doing the cigarettes with no name on them?
No. I don't do anything.
You've done Larry more than once or twice.
I know.
You've done it a few times.
I know. I get it. All right.
Thanks, guys. This was fun.
It was fun having you. We'll be back right after these words.
I think Larry King is fascinating.
There was something really good.
The fact that he can pull those...
It's amazing.
The story is, we can believe that he can remember the 2,000-year-old man verbatim.
Yeah. There's something about radio guys. They just know how to do radio.
Man, I wish I was a radio guy.
Mr. King, you've done countless interviews over the course of your career. What separates Howard and his style from the rest?
Because Howard knows the secret of broadcasting, which is there's no secret. Be yourself. Howard is Howard. I'm me. So I'm not any different off the air than on. What you see here is what you see there. And that's where Howard is. And when you can learn that, to be yourself and be natural and never be afraid. I never had a moment where I say to myself, should I say this? I trust my instincts. That's what Howard does.
He's often been criticized for that style over the years.
Yeah, I never criticize a successful broadcaster, because if you're around a long time, somebody likes you, and you have to respect that somebody. I remember when I was young, and I would listen to the Beatles, and I would say, "What do people see in the Beatles?" And then I realized I was wrong. People were right. When I was a kid, we used to make fun of Bobby Soxers and Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra turned out to be, in my opinion, the greatest singer of all time. But we used to laugh at him. We were wrong.
So you think his legacy will be that people will eventually, even the mainstream, will realize how wrong they were about Howard initially?
The mainstream, at all, what goes around comes around. If I'd have told you that 15 years ago there'd be gay marriage in America, right, you'd have laughed.
Absolutely.
There'd be a black president. Come on. Everything goes around, comes around. Sure, Howard is probably already mainstream. A lot of these rock groups are now, and others are going beyond Howard.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This is a Howard TV original production.
On this episode, he breaks stories, he raps, he fights. He is Lieberman at large.
6:18 a.m. What's going on? This is the shit. That's it.
I stand by my words. You're a shit reporter.
Fucking cock.
What's your
Testing, 1, 2.
Baba Booey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My career has been centered almost exclusively around investigative reporting and crime reporting. I spent a number of years in different local television markets, and I spent 7 years as a national correspondent for the program America's Most Wanted on primetime on Fox.
Steve Langford left. They needed a new guy. Tim sat with the news director, Brad Driver. They came up with a list of names. They knew this John Lieberman.
I initially applied for the anchor job at Howard 100 News to fill in for when Ralph Howard was leaving to get a new lung.
We interviewed John Lieberman twice. He came in for an initial position that was open, and we didn't hire him. We passed over him. And the second time around, we hired him.
I get a call from Brad out of the blue, and Brad says, our investigative reporter, Steve Langford, is leaving. What is your availability like? And would you like to come and try out for the position?
I love Langford. Always thought he did a great job.
Homeless high pitch for the holidays. Eric apparently thrown out of his late mother's apartment, allegedly by his own sister and brother-in-law, just as near nuclear winter gripped New York right before Christmas.
When one reporter leaves, I'm like devastated. How can they leave us? But then, what a pleasant surprise. We got a guy like John Lieberman, who absolutely fits into the family.
I love Langford. But, Langford was like, hard-nosed reporter. Lieberman's a little softer, but still, he's up there. He'll get in your face.
John Lieberman is out here if you want to meet him. Do you want to meet him?
Sure. The biggest wow moment for me was the first day in studio with Howard.
John, were you in Iraq covering the war and all that?
Yeah, I was in Iraq in 2004.
Right.
Covered the war over there.
Right.
Been going after bad guys, murderers and rapists for the past 7 years at America's Most Wanted.
They sent me all your stuff. So I've been listening to it. I called Tim the other day and I said, and I sent a note to Brad Driver. I go, this guy sounds really good. If you want my vote, I think he's good.
Mm-hmm. The first part of the interview was great. We talked about my past and things like that. Then it kind of veered off into my personal life.
Are you single?
I am dating somebody right now. I'm divorced.
How long were you with that wife?
5 years with that wife.
Oh, 5 years, and how long did you date her?
We dated for 2 years before that.
7 years? You were faithful? No kidding. You get tons of pussy, huh?
Past.
Oh, you cheated.
Walking out of there, you're like, wow, did I just say all of that? Howard makes you feel so comfortable in the studio that, you just start talking.
We have a culture here of, the Howard Stern Show that's unique, and John gets it.
It took John Lieberman about a week to adapt, and once he did, he really took the ball and ran with it.
I gotta get character. Hold on. Uh-oh. He's on fire. Mayday, mayday.
Art Collins reached out to you this morning, and I believe he called you a thin-skinned, horse-toothed jackass. I understand we might see you in a bikini as well.
I didn't know about that part. John has a really distinct way of talking, and I think it sets him apart in the air, and I think it's just fun to listen to.
The reason that Sal is wearing caps to work is because his hair cannot be exposed to light anymore. We are reporting, but we are reporting for the most part on funny and humorous things and funny and humorous people. And so it was a different type of reporting for me. But what I decided to do, very much I believe like my predecessor decided to do, I decided to keep my America's Most Wanted style and just apply it to the characters here. Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
And Lisa Jordana is Miss Howard TV for the coming month. Your reaction? Would you say you're just as angry as Ronnie in general?
Yes. You want to be bored? Everyone want to turn off the radio here?
Yes. Lieberman did an amazing job stepping into Langford's shoes, and he did a fine job of just kind of stepping into it and, shitting on his coworkers.
What would you say to the people that might be concerned that you would be boring on a 1 hour show?
That's why there will be a co-host.
When I was standing in my shower imagining the Howard 100 News, when I came up with that idea, and I heard it in my head, John's the type of guy I heard doing the news.
I'm John Lieberman, and these are the latest headlines from the Howard 100 newsroom.
We're here with serious news. And he hits the mark for me.
I don't got anything. Why? Oh, why are you guilty? Why you look guilty?
You're getting out there, aren't you, huh? Trying to be the dog like fucking my man Langford, huh? Hey, you're doing good, man. You're doing good. I'm gonna give you props.
We get stories in a variety of ways. Probably the biggest way around here is to listen to what people are talking about behind the scenes.
You know, it's like the New York subway motto: if you see something, say something. I certainly apply that to all the shit that goes on around here. Without us, Lieberman would be lost.
There's still a booger on the wall from a year ago.
Where?
Over a year ago.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's petrified.
Who's done a story on it?
Nobody. We investigated it the one day.
What?
Yeah. No.
Where is it? Come show me, bro. What is that?
And that's a booger, man. That's an antique booger, actually.
I'll do whatever it takes to get a story. In my career, I've gone to Iraq to cover the war, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to cover the situation with detainees there. I've been in London looking for one of America's most wanted fugitives. I don't have a problem getting dirty, rolling up my sleeves, and again, I simply applied those skills to this place.
We think someone shit on the floor of the bathroom.
Oh. What?
What?
Look at the bowl, Rob, and if you can see that, not only did they shit on the floor, pan up. They shit all over the bowl.
Oh, my God. If it means putting on gloves and swabbing for feces during shitgate, that's what needs to be done.
John Lieberman just said that he would go in and swab it.
With a Q, yeah, I will do it with a Q-tip, right? But that area is being compromised, so I got to get to it right now.
Get to it
going
now.
in and out of there.
Before it's
So let me get a Q-tip.
Boy, he's some reporter.
I tell you.
How many guys do you know will go in and swab shit and examine urine, and he'll do whatever needs to be done.
This is all wet. This is the shit. That's it. Right there. That's the swab. That's the good swab right there. That's the thing. That's the wet shit.
John was just doing his job, and he does too good a job sometimes.
Lieberman. What does Lieber mean in German? You know?
I think lover.
Lover.
I think lover.
Lover, man. I like that.
Benjy is the most difficult subject that I've ever dealt with on any level during any of my jobs. The problem is, you can ask Benjy what his name is, and he will not give you a straight answer. It'll be a long-winded, disjointed, uncomfortable diatribe about something, and you walk away and you have less information than you had before you went into the interview. Do you feel bad about your actions? What? You were hungry? That's all you have to say? What do you say to Gary, who was not happy that 6 had to be thrown away? Thank you, Benjy.
I won't give a black and white answer when I don't 100% feel yes or no. I will explore the gray.
Do you foresee a time when you'll damage the cupcakes in the future?
No.
You're pretty much done with that?
No, I've never done that.
Well, immediately it was brought to my attention that there were sweets missing from Cupcake Wednesday, and immediately through interviews and through other surveillance techniques, we found out that Benjy Bronk was the main suspect in Cupcake Gate.
But I would like to show you on one how I did it, and I think I did it in a safe, hygienic way. There was a one like this, and again, 5 hours later in the day.
But that doesn't matter, because here's the point.
Did not touch it at
Here's
all.
the point. But when I walk by, I don't know who did what.
This one, he only took 1 topping off, but you see there's 3 remaining.
Yes, there are 3 remaining.
So this is not an exact replication of what happened. No, I never thought that I'd be doing investigations on cupcakes. It is virtually impossible to break through the Benjy vortex, but I tried, and I will continue to try. Lisa has unfollowed you on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Do you follow her?
I think, yeah, I do. I'm pretty sure, unless I actively followed her. I think so. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if she unfollowed. Can she unfollow me, unfollow her? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know can she turn off that? I don't know.
The only hope to break through the Benjy vortex is to catch him when he runs through that glass door at 5:59:30 in the morning eagerly struggling to make it into the studio on time. It's one thing to hear it from somebody else. Benjy walked in at this time. Benjy was 30 seconds late. It's not good enough. You need to be there.
The idea that someone would stand there and watch, is Benjy on time because he's following a story, that's real. That's real news.
6:18 a.m. What's going on?
I'll take one for the team. I can't see.
What do you mean you can't see?
I can't see it. No contacts.
You don't have your contacts in? Did you oversleep?
I don't have the contacts.
What does that mean?
It means I'm nearsighted and it's hard to see when I have my contacts in.
What time do you expect Benjy to be here?
I expect Benjy to be here before Howard flips the switch to go live on the air. He treated Benjy being late like, you know, North Korea had bombs, and he was going to break that story wide open.
Any reason particularly that this morning you cut it that close?
It's, you know, important to get here before the show, not after.
So lesson learned.
Exactly.
It's harder to get a soundbite from Benjy than a Guantanamo Bay detainee.
What time did
Maybe we need to waterboard his fat ass. When I was late, it was a legitimate news story. There's nothing wrong with it. I was embarrassed about being late, and it was a legitimate news story to cover.
Lieberman, you motherfucker!
I've covered a lot of different people in my career, and I think every person that I've covered has sort of trained me for my new existence covering whackpackers. Maximum 2 daily. So how many have you taken in the last 24 hours?
I just took one just now.
How quickly does it work?
It works quick.
I have a special approach to dealing with whackpackers, and it's simply to treat them like people and to realize that this show is their world. What are you going to show me today? Because I really want to see how you live.
Well, basically, the day goes like I start out here, get dressed, obviously, and then go to the library.
He connects with these people, and it's amazing the stuff that he pulls.
How many times did you, Ed's words, jerk off in the phone booth in this bar?
Once. He doesn't treat it like a joke. He treats that beat like it's the real deal, and that's why I like him. If he treated it any other way, he wouldn't fit in.
John's one of those guys that grew on me pretty quickly. He really did. When I met him, there was just a certain vibe. There are people out there, as soon as you meet them, you get this vibe like, ugh, you know, I sense this, you know, I just sense shit with this person. I sense evilness. John was just the opposite. John just had a certain warmth about him, a certain charisma.
What I've been slow to realize, and I shouldn't be, but I have been, is that everything around here is documented, whether it's in the building or outside of the building. So if you're at dinners, if you're at weddings, if you're at parties, and you decide to let loose a little bit, it's being documented, and chances are it will end up on the air.
John starts to dance, and he's like, you know, he's like uncoordinated, and he's not a good dancer, but he doesn't care.
He dances like a fucking mental patient. And he goes to the Christmas party, he dances like Elaine at Seinfeld. His arms are all over the place, and he's like, hey man, I'm just having fun. And so are we.
Hands up, everybody, let's dance. Hands, everybody.
I would say a couple of examples of some of my antics outside of the building would be getting captured at Richie and Rachel's wedding, speaking of Lisa G's upcoming book in what some might say is a derogatory fashion.
Let me tell you about Lisa G's book. My girlfriend just hit me on the leg as if to say, don't say your true thoughts. I think it's fiction, and fiction means made up.
Lisa G, the name sounds familiar. I think she's the one that sits to my left for hours upon hours. I don't think she would say we have a bad relationship, but in all honesty, I am very much annoyed by Lisa G.
Reporting live.
Photobombing John.
Get out of my shot.
I would say my relationship with John is strictly professional. I think he's nice. I think he does a very good job, but he likes it his way, and that's the way it is, so I don't bother him.
That is true.
Hey, listen, you know, every once in a while Lisa gets under people's skin, you know. She does. You know, I've had my things with her, but I still want to fuck her.
I don't like when I can't get a straight answer, and I think Lisa is very good at playing the game. And when you ask her questions, she's good at dancing around them.
Howard declared you must do interviews with Howard TV and allow Howard TV...
No, that's not what he said. He said, if I'm using the air to promote an event, then Howard TV needs to be there, and I agree with him. I just heard what he said. I need to just digest all of this.
But you're parsing words. You're not. That is what he said.
That is not what he said. That's not what I heard.
Go back there and ask Gary what he said and Doug what he said.
I don't hate Lisa. She just evokes strong feelings of disgust in me. I just get disgusted at some of the things she does. And I may be wrong. Maybe it's not a rational response, but it just drives me crazy, many of the things she does.
It's, you know, it's the odd couple. What can I say?
Ball busting is an art form around here because there are very few quote-unquote normal conversations. Most of it is ball busting in one way or another, and it starts at 5 o'clock in the morning and it ends until people go home. I would say Ronald Mund is probably the biggest ball buster on staff.
Like the Pace likes to get under Kaplan's skin, I like to get under Lieberman's skin. I know how to turn his screws.
I blame Ronald for the turbulent relationship that we have. It's because when you walk in the morning, there are mornings when I just say, hey, what's up, Ronnie? Good morning, Ronnie. And all of a sudden it's...
Go fuck yourself.
Can you please clarify?
No. I'm not clarifying anything.
Can you please?
No.
When do you think you'll have your voice back?
After you suck my dick.
What kind of spot is it?
He told you what it is. Somebody came on it.
Ronnie is hands down the most cranky person you'll ever deal with. And take that crankiness and put 5 a.m. into the mix, and it's unbelievable.
I'm cranky, I admit it. Don't fucking bother me then, you prick.
Here's the question.
Well, Lance, ask the question already.
Are you sick?
I'm not sick.
Do you get manicures?
No, wait, don't. They say some guys, their cars are their extension of their cocks. Well, I think that microphone is an extension of his cock. What is wrong with you? Are you a psychopath? Look at your fucking suits.
What are you using?
You're all burnt.
What are you using to get the spot
Don't
up?
worry about it. You're trying to start shit that's not here.
So your travel schedule has you behind on your hygiene?
No, it doesn't have, no, absolutely not. What kind of fucking thing is that? You know how when you get a girl and you shake your cock at her face and you're banging on her tongue and her mouth and all that stuff? That's the feeling I get. That's what he wants. Leave me alone. Away from me.
Anything else?
No, nothing else. Good night and have a good day.
Have a nice day. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, kiss my ass. You're not a good reporter.
Oh, I'm not?
No.
I got a list of fucking stories here.
It's not good, man.
Nice to see you.
Nice hair dye job. It came out good this time.
Fuck off. I'm setting the record straight. I do not use Just for Men. I do not use any hair dye in my hair.
Dye your fucking hair, admit it, and you get your fucking eyebrows waxed.
Well, I do get my eyebrows done, but I don't
get out of here.
Fuck off, dude.
He's very fucking vain, that guy.
You don't have to like me, but you can say no comment.
No
I've
comment.
had many other people not like me.
No comment, and I don't like you. I stand by my words. You're a shit reporter.
Fucking cock.
It's all in good fun around here. The best part of my whole life with him, though, with Lieberman, you know what that is.
No. Please.
Ronald challenged me to something, getting in the pace car. I did it. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy one moment of it. I was scared for my life and my being and my existence.
Oh, Jesus! Right!
He had to know about the pace car. He was fucking investigating and breaking my balls about it.
Do you have a new car?
Dude, I'm not going there with that.
A listener said they saw you in the pace car recently.
I really don't care what the listeners say. Leave me alone.
Have you taken it out for a spin in the past week?
None of your business.
Excuse me, what's that going? Was the top up or the top down?
None of your business. And I said, well, if you want to see it, this is how you're going to see it.
No! I said stop, dude!
The unique thing about the Stern Show is that reporters around here usually become part of the stories as well, like when Lieberman got a low rating on the Ugly app.
Joe invented an app that can tell you if you're ugly or not.
The app takes measurements off your face. There's like 100 different points it'll take on your face and uses different ratios.
The Ugly Meter was early on in my tenure here at the Howard 100 News team.
You don't know? He has to do advertising for that block party.
John Lieberman?
Yeah.
Who's an 18.
An 18? I could see that.
There is no 8 fucking teen. Yeah, no. It bothered me, I'll be honest. Getting an 18 bothered me. Everybody in the media, to some degree, is vain, and you don't want to be told that you're ugly. That's bullshit. There's no fucking way I'm an 18. It was too tight of a shot. If I had to do it all over again, I would probably temper my emotions a little bit, because the problem around here is once you show weakness, everybody is out to exploit that weakness.
Hey, John, what's on your face? What are all the scratch marks?
Oh, yeah, you've got
I was just scratching my forehead.
Yeah.
After I found out this, I was scratching my forehead. I have sensitive skin.
But you always can tell when Lieberman is nervous, because he scratches his fucking forehead and the side of his face, and it looks like a cat. He just woke up from fighting with a cat or something.
Occasionally, when I tend to get worked up about something, I'll scratch my forehead and like this, and it'll make a red mark. I have very sensitive skin. It'll stay there for a few minutes. It bothered me to the extent that here's why it bothered me.
Oh my God!
Shut the fuck up. I got a lot in my hand.
Yeah, he's got a lot in his
Here's
hand.
why it bothered me. Like I said on the wrap-up show, because that's gonna stick with. Like these guys been here 25 years. They got intelligence tests and this test and that test. This is the only test I've been a part of. So this is now gonna stick with me.
Why are you worried about it? It's idiotic.
Yeah, it is idiotic.
Why would you worry about something like that? You still talking about it last night? Wow, dude, come on, let it go.
I love when John walks in and he's part of our crew and he's analyzing something, or suddenly, John's arguing about his Ugly Meter score, or, it's because he takes things to heart. He genuinely didn't understand why he was so funny in the rap contest when he was rapping against Sal.
Cool the candy wrapper, I'll unwrap you, and then I'll eat you like a Kit Kat, woohoo!
But that's what's so beautiful about him. He takes it seriously. He really thinks he can rap. He's a guy who throws himself into a situation, and I like that.
John Lieberman can't ride a bike, he can't rap, but he can do news, and he's very, very good at it.
I like John a lot. I really do. I think he's a fun guy. He's got a good heart, and he fit in with us almost right away, and that's not easy to do.
He breaks my balls, I break his balls, but he can take it, and I can take it. Everything is fine, and he's a good guy, and I'll hang out with him anytime.
He is a go-to, reliable, old-school reporter. He's great.
This has been the behind-the-scenes episode of Lieberman at Large. I'm John Lieberman.
What do you got? I got, nothing around here fucking works. Shit, what else is working? There we go. Dude. Fuck away from me.
Here we go, hands up, let's talk shit. Everybody talking shit. Dripping wet shit. This mic is such a piece.
We've never heard any sex stories, but we have heard cookie stories and cat pussy stories.
Could I please get this story out before I really have to take action?
Ooh.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Where'd you take your butt?
Say cheese.
When you open it up.
That's it.
Dude, what the fuck? Get out of here. Hey.
What annoys you most about Lisa G?
She reads me the New York Post every morning. I read New newspapers.
Ronnie, somebody opened a Twitter in your honor.
Yeah, RM Limo.
Hold on. This is this fucking recorder.
So everybody do it right and be happy tonight.
Take that ass, bitch!
Looked like you've been through a war zone, you
They
alright?
just rubbed their ass and their cocks on me.
We started going out.
Oh man, my mic died again. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll get you the next break.
All right, no problem.
This fucking mic is a piece of shit. Woo-hoo!
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, we talked a lot about collecting. JD collects baseball cards and spoons and Pez dispensers. Ronnie collects die-cast cars. And then Ronnie came in and tried to explain what he meant when he said that Howie Mandel looked cute. Is what happened.
Before we get to Jimmy's wedding and Howie Mandel, we want to talk about JD a little bit, who revealed not only his baseball card collection, but his Pez dispenser collection.
And a spoon collection.
Spoon collection.
One is the worst.
I got to tell you, we have the little intercom. When he said spoons, DePace hits the button and goes, I was with him at baseball cards, but I don't fucking get spoons.
JD's the first person I've ever heard of who collects spoons.
You know who collects spoons is like women in Ohio.
That's right.
You know,
very much so.
Hey, what's wrong with Ohio?
Do you collect spoons?
No.
Do you collect
Stephanie's from Ohio. She doesn't collect spoons.
Do you collect anything? Or you collect?
She's also 28.
My NASCAR shit. No, she's 30, dude.
NASCAR. Sorry, I insulted her.
Wait, your NASCAR stuff? You're a collector?
Yeah.
Do you have NASCAR like cards?
No cards. Cars.
What's the most?
bumpers.
Like when you collect
Stupid
NASCAR stuff?
ass.
What is it you have a lot of?
Die-cast cars.
And how many would you say you have?
About 150.
Can you describe a die-cast car for those who don't know what that is?
Hot Wheels.
It's a Matchbox.
No, it's not a fucking Matchbox.
Is it bigger?
Yeah, it's 120, either 124th scale or 118th scale.
I swear to God.
I mean, they do have Matchbox size.
Right.
All right. But
Are they all like in position and stuff? They're racing against each other?
No, idiot. They're in a,
Come on.
They're in a fucking... you've seen... They've shown it on Howard
What
TV.
makes one of them valuable?
Depends. I mean, like Dale Earnhardt shit's worth money because he's dead.
When did you start collecting die-cast cars?
When QVC started that shit back in the 90s.
And did you get them because you thought
late 80s actually?
You thought they would be a good investment, or were you just into the cars? You think they're kind of cool?
Into the cars.
What was the first one you bought?
Let's see. Darryl Waltrip's car.
Did the doors open and stuff? Open and close?
No, the doors don't open anyway, idiot. You ever see a NASCAR? The doors don't open.
Oh, sorry.
So you don't, moron. You get in through the window.
So
but remember,
wheels
you covered me driving one of the cars. You don't remember
So
anything?
you don't pretend to race them.
Senile
or anything.
old bitch.
You don't pretend to race them or anything. You just
No,
put
I
them
don't.
up.
They're in a display case.
Well, do you ever change the order based on the success of the drivers?
No.
And you have 150 of them, you said?
Probably close to it. Yeah.
So, all right, so you can identify with JD's collecting and what he's doing.
Do you go like brum, 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 make noises and stuff? Come on.
Listen, it's better than golf. I gotta say.
I don't think so.
Golf. Come on, man. That's not a sport.
You're a baseball card collector, right?
I'd rather go
cards,
bowling than.
I've got a few thousand cards probably.
What do you do with them? Now?
They sit in a closet.
Somebody gave me a set from like a 1988 Fleer set in a box. I don't think I've ever opened the box. Like it's sitting in my attic, and my wife goes, "Why don't you throw these away?" And I'm not a baseball card collector at all.
88 could be McGuire.
So the reason why I never threw them away is because maybe they're from like it might be from the 90s, because I think Jackson was born. I was like, I'll save them for him when he grows up, because I didn't want any part of them.
I was a big card collector, and I was pretty organized too, but JD's organization blows mine away. I mean, a guy gets traded and you put him on a different...
No. He keeps him, but then when the guy gets traded, his new card goes to the new team. It's not that weird if you're going to buy into it.
Well, I mean, I sorted mine by a year, whatever the set was, and that was the team.
I did mine
by
player.
You do...
Because I was a big Mike Schmidt guy, so I had all my Mike Schmidts together. But and then once you start looking up their values and stuff, you get to thumb through a book forever. And then you get a number that you can't get anyway, and it's just sort of a big waste of time.
Well, the bottom has fallen out of that. That market was big for like a minute, and it's done now.
Well, did you do it for the money, or did you do it because you love baseball?
The idea that these cards, like a Ricky Henderson card, was worth $100, that turns you on, and so you try to trade other people to get Ricky Henderson.
So you did it for the money?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you saying, Ronnie?
Wow, how cool.
That's
what turns you on, man. That's great.
Speaking of cool, people were wondering about Howie Mandel's explanation of you calling him cute.
Okay, his outfit was cute.
Do you don't find that an odd description of a guy's outfit? You're going to say
he meant to say adorable.
Yeah, well, that too. I mean, forget about it.
What made it so cute and adorable?
You know what? I don't even remember the outfit now. I mean, would I have to go back and look at the shows actually to see what it was? I think it might have been the one where he's actually 2 weeks ago. Maybe he was wearing like a plaid flannel shirt, something like that. And but he wears.
You found it cute.
He wears his clothes like real short, like almost they don't fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
Like they're almost like kid sizes.
So he buys his stuff like a size too small.
I mean, it looks that way sometimes. Even like that shirt he was wearing today. You don't think that shirt looked a little too small on him?
I don't know what he wore.
We're not critiquing his fashion like you are.
I swear to God, I don't know what he wore today. I think he was all in black. I thought he was wearing a jacket actually.
No,
today.
he wasn't. He was wearing a black shirt.
Okay.
He took the jacket off before he went into the studio.
I didn't notice him looking fat in tight clothing.
I didn't say fat.
We said it was too tight.
Not fat. I said no. It's small, like short. The shirt is like short.
And you picked up on his belt. I mean, what are you doing? Who looks at guys' clothing like
I look
that?
at everything.
Who watches
when people,
Gossip Girl?
Dude, I look at everything when people walk in. That's my fucking job to see what they got under their shirts.
Howie
in their
Mandel,
pockets.
you're looking at him?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. It reminded me a lot of when Sal used to critique Howard. You remember that? Like what he was wearing and what he that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, that's what it sounded like.
I'm stalking him, right?
I'm not saying you're stalking him, but I wonder because the clothes are too small. Is that what you find cute about it?
Yeah, well, this particular outfit, he looked cute, okay?
I've never said that to a guy.
He came, he doesn't remember when he walked out of the dressing room and goes, how do I look? I go, you look cute.
You ever thought a guy looked cute? Yeah, okay.
No, I mean, it's not a word that comes to mind. By the way, talking about Howie today, Howie had a very Sal Governale moment, I thought.
Oh, with the elephant?
Yes, when Howard talked about his wife, you get the elephant for his wife, and Howard goes, and you didn't get her anything else? And he goes, no, and Howard goes, do you know how wrong that is? And he goes, well, I know that now. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, and that was the guy last May when we were in Vegas for the Vegas week.
Mm-hmm.
Yelled at me because I didn't send Stephanie flowers on her birthday because I was in Vegas.
Should sent her an elephant.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that elephant? Oh, and but you got to figure his wife sort of knows that's who Howie is and what he does.
That's a long way to go for a joke, though.
It wasn't a joke. The best part of the story is that I think Howie thought that the thing that makes the story interesting is that he really thought it would be fun, but he hadn't thought the whole thing through. So 4 hours later, when the elephant's ripping up, the irrigation system, that's the funny part of the story.
Did Richard Christie actually come when Howie did the gizmo
He made
voice?
a noise like he did.
Now I was cutting the shots of his face, the giddy smile that he had on when he was making that voice. It was unbelievable.
And Richard was asking for this gizmo thing, was he not, Gary?
Yes, he brought it up in the meeting, and he brought it up to me again this morning. And Howie seemed shocked that in this day and age, someone could actually see that movie in a theater.
Yeah. Yeah. And I liked how Howie explained doing the same voice for a couple different characters. And then he rolled off that St. Elsewhere line, and it was
that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know he had that great of a memory.
But that helium joke was very funny too.
Yeah, yeah. And then he had to make that fateful decision: Mel B, or Heidi. Which one? Ronnie Echo. I'm throwing that at you.
Heidi.
No brainer?
No brainer.
Why? What about Heidi
She's an animal in bed, I guarantee it.
What makes you say that?
Just a feeling.
Well, you said that about Lisa G.
Well, she is an animal in bed.
How do you know?
I'm telling you.
So you're comparing Lisa G to Heidi Klum?
I'm not comparing Lisa G to Heidi Klum. You asked me a question. I answered it.
Could you tell me which type of an animal each of them is?
Let's see. Heidi would be probably like a panther.
And Lisa?
Lisa would be more laid back, like
like a log,
an iguana,
a sedated iguana.
An iguana.
It is an animal.
Andrew on Long Island, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's up, guys? Big fan. I wanted to say I was watching AGT when the guy came out doing the salsa, and I just thought it was awesome seeing all the Stern Show guys, especially Ronnie, dancing on the stage, or with Howard doing the conga, running around the audience. I just got a big kick out of that. It's great to see Howard on AGT.
Yeah, if you didn't see this AGT episode that he's referring to, everybody was getting up and dancing, and Ronnie, you were getting into it up there.
Well, I got dragged. I was standing minding my own business. And actually, Heidi was the one who dragged me out.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you and Heidi like pals?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've hung with Heidi. And
like if Heidi was here today, I would go, "Do you know this guy?" She'd go, "That's Ronnie."
Yeah, she would know.
When did you hang with Heidi?
One night in San Antonio, we were all hanging out. We went to dinner, and we were all sitting outside by the Riverwalk, drinking and hanging out. It was her and her boyfriend, and Howie, and his guy Rich, and a whole bunch of people. We were just out there till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Did you have that mustache then?
No, I
Batman?
didn't. No, no, I didn't. No. Why does that bother you so much? Why is my Why does
it
my
looks
mustache
ridiculous?
So does your head.
That's all right.
You know.
All right.
Can't do anything about that.
With that, Gem, Al, we'll go to break.
So on Tuesday's wrap-up show, I went in to talk about golf, my favorite game. Howard made some claim on the air that he hit a ball 300 yards. Not accurate. So I went in there to talk about that, and then I laid a $10,000 bet down.
Scott DePace now back for the second consecutive day on the wrap-up show.
Ouch.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Happy to see you. Howard says that he'll get an affidavit signed by Jimmy Kimmel and this golf pro that ball went over 300 yards.
It doesn't matter. That was not 300 yards. It's not. It might be 200, maybe. But if not, it still was fine. I mean, he shouldn't be embarrassed by it. His swing was fine. I mean,
why is it getting under?
Taking a step when you swing isn't necessarily normal.
Okay,
but
no one's saying it's a textbook swing, but why is it getting under the golfer's skin from the show here?
It's not. It's
Really?
not under my skin. No. I was happy to hear that he actually tried it and liked it.
Well, Will's all fired up about it. I know Rob Martin's fired up about it, and people think,
Well, because I think people think that they're feeding Howard like a kiss-ass line, like, hey, you're great, and they're not being accurate because it's obviously not 300 yards.
What I said at the beginning of this show was he hit the ball. Whoever was there told him it was 300 yards.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know any better. He's not a golfer.
Right. I don't blame Howard, but he should take our opinion as well as everyone else's that was not 300 yards.
Mike in Florida, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, hey, about the golf swing. It reminds me of the episode of The Munsters where Herman went golfing and hit the ball into the next town. Kind of like that, no?
Well, you should throw that by Howard because he's a big Munsters fan. I do know that. But I know what you're saying. You took a swing, you hit it, and it went really far. And it doesn't mean the next one's going to go as far. So,
But he said you're talking about Howard's...
Yeah.
He said he hit at least 10 of them 300 yards. That's what he said to me this morning. No, he said to me, he goes, I whiffed on some. He goes, some I hit and nicked and they dribbled off. He goes, but I hit... He goes... 5 to 10, I hit at least 300 yards.
But don't you think he was $10,000 that says he cannot hit a ball 300 yards unless it's on a concrete surface or something like that?
What do you mean on a concrete surface?
Because like if he cheats.
Right.
So, on a range, there is no way he is hitting at 300
You're
yards.
throwing down $10,000.
Sure. $10,000.
Okay. $10,000.
To his $1. All I want is $1. That's the bet.
Well, why don't you take the 10?
Oh, because that's ridiculous.
Well, you
Why?
gotta take yours.
Fine. All right. 10,000 to 10,000. But I'd be happy with the $1. It's fine.
Wow, that means you really believe in the bet.
I know for a fact. Gary, it is so hard to hit at 300 yards.
God, I hope Howard can hit at 300 yards.
Keegan Bradley can hit at 300 yards, but I know I can on a range.
How great would it be, Gary, if we went to a range and Howard just jacks one that goes 300 yards?
I'm sitting here, I'm laughing because in my head I'm thinking about when we were back at K-Rock, Stuttering John challenged
Tom
Giussano
to the
to
golf.
one hole, and he beat him, and he ran around the course like a fucking idiot. Going, with his club and dancing and doing
And
cartwheels.
the look on Tom's face was priceless. He was just like,
But
oh
I was
my
thinking,
God.
like, if Howard hit it, you saw $10,000 fall out of your pocket, you would just die.
I would be amazed, and the golf game wouldn't mean as much to me because I would be like, this is ridiculous.
You mean you would question playing golf if Howard could do that?
I mean, yeah, it would just throw everything off.
Would you stop playing?
No, I wouldn't stop playing. But it would certainly, I'd be like, what the hell? Now I've got to rethink the whole swing because whatever he's doing is working.
Mark, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey, Mark.
No, I was listening to your conversation about him hitting the ball 300 yards. I mean, that does sound a little outrageous to be able to hit it 10 times, 300 yards, one right after the other. I mean, I play golf. I hit a far ball. I mean, but it's difficult to hit it 300 yards, especially 10 times.
And Mark, he did not say one right after the other. He said he had some whiffs and he had some dribblers and he had some ones that went 100 yards, but he said that he hit 5 to 10 balls within that grouping.
See, I'm judging my opinion off of the one that I saw. And if it's anything like that, there's no way it's going 300 yards.
What did they use to measure that? Because did it say 300 yards where he hit it?
He said he kept talking about the yellow flag. I think Howard thinks like every flag is the same.
Which, Mark, you know from driving ranges, there is not a driving range that has a 300-yard pin.
275, 250 is the most.
Yeah.
Look, as I said before, Mark, somebody there told him that the yellow flag meant 300 yards.
I had a thought, and I'm feeling guilty for this thought, but I'm wondering if, he called Jimmy, and Jimmy said the pro would vouch for it. I hope this isn't some elaborate practical joke that Jimmy's playing on Howard.
I was saying that yesterday, that Jimmy may be messing with Howard here. Right. But now it's reached the point where if Jimmy is messing with Howard, I'd highly recommend that he comes clean because Howard's, rolling with it. And now Scott DePace has put $10,000 of his own money on the line saying that Howard can't drive a ball 300 yards. So it's going to be interesting.
And before Howard says he won't take it, we'll give it to North Shore Animal League.
But you'll take it if you win.
The $1. Yeah.
Scott covering all his bases. Eric in Ohio, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Here's the thing, guys. I'm an avid golfer. Driving ranges normally won't even have a 300-yard stick or a 300-yard sign. And DePace can vouch for that.
That's right.
All the news has to do is call the driving range and ask them.
Will's on it. Will said he was going to do that.
We should probably do that. That's an interesting thing.
Will's on it.
Will already has the number. He's going to call it today.
But why did that happen? Did you?
It was his
him?
idea. Will just said, "I'm calling there today because there's no way that."
Will's fired up over this.
I understand.
I understand it too.
Because Will's like one of those shorter hitters. He hits a ball maybe 230 at the best, and
230 short.
Really, yeah.
Like what do you drive on a regular basis?
245, right. Not tons more, but it's definitely a club or two more than his, and so that really offends him.
It would be interesting, Gary, if a few of us just went to the driving range and hit just to see where everything went.
I went to the driving range last summer. I got a set of clubs that my son got. It's and they're really, it's like fairly new compared to like when I used to go to the range, and I started hitting them. I was surprised at how far I could drive the ball, not because I was so good, because the head of the club now is the size of a fucking head of lettuce. When I was younger, I mean, if you can get anywhere near the sweet spot, you can whack it pretty far.
That's what it's all about.
But it's not about. I can't tell you that I was hitting them straight, but I was hitting them pretty far.
John, you're probably horrible, aren't you?
Oh, at a driving range? No, I can hit the ball pretty far. I've hit it over 300 yards 10 times.
Bullshit.
That was a callback, but no, I'd go out on the range and hit with you guys. I think I can hold my own.
You looked
there.
horrible at the baseball thing.
Baseball's a completely different thing.
Right.
And why? Because I threw a bad pitch?
Threw a bad pitch. You looked bad in the cage.
I forgot about the cage. Oh, I did not have a good day there. Will Murray, Scott DePace says you're following up on the driving range and you're all fired up over this.
The thing that offended me is when he says he drives the ball so much further than me, which is not true. No, you don't.
You know I do.
No, you don't.
Brandano, you've been
on case. There are occasions, and probably
80% of the time.
Yeah, but there are times when I outdrive you and you don't significantly outdrive me.
I can't be perfect every time.
But don't say I can't hit the ball. I hit the ball.
You're a shorter hitter. You would admit
slightly. Yeah, and you have 70 pounds on me.
Whatever. I'm just,
I have a question for you. You're the self-proclaimed father of the year.
I knew this.
He's our Kim Jong-un, by the way. I knew. He's bowled 7 300 games, had 20 holes in one, and is better than us at everything.
Yeah.
It's not that, eh? I'm very competitive.
He comes in today. He comes up to me. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, I'll strike you out any day of the week. Let's just do it. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Was that unsolicited, by the way?
Yes, of course it was.
Well, no, it had to do with we were at golf, and then we went. John claims to be this great baseball guy.
I did not say a word about that. Be honest.
When he walked in this morning, what precipitated you saying, I'll strike you at any time?
No, it was during a commercial break. We were talking golf with this thing, and then I think I started talking about my kids' baseball. And I said, I've been pitching a lot of batting practice. I bet you I can strike you out. So, yeah, it was my bet, but I believe it.
Why, because you're striking out all those 10-year-olds?
No, but I did find out that in batting practice, if you're on Scott's team and you get a hold of a few, he throws in a few curves to make sure the kids miss it to keep them,
Teach a lesson.
I got to keep them humble.
But I asked him if he brushes any of them back.
So what did you think I was going to ask you, by the way? I wasn't going to bring up the baseball thing. You said when I said Father of the Year, you thought I was going to...
Oh. Well, no, you guys have this opinion of me that, Gary's the same guy that I am. He's very confident and is always claiming to be better than I am at things.
What?
Hey, you claim everything.
No, I don't claim to be better than you at everything. Like, what are the things I think I'm better than you at?
Cultured.
No, that's your opinion.
No,
that's your shortcomings about how you feel about yourself.
No, you always think I'm some hick from Delaware. And
I've never said,
True.
Scott, I am more cultured than you. You are a bit of a hick from Delaware.
You have said that on the air, in fact.
And Fred does a hillbilly voice of yours, yet you never bring up his name because you're scared of him.
And then whatever happens in our meetings where people want to pit us against each other, you're always, right there.
Well, like what?
I'm not. Should I start spelling out some of the ideas people have had?
Yeah, you can throw me one. I think one of them was
a sperm test.
No. You said
the dog.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, the dog trainer.
Hold on, the sperm test. You said it, not me.
It wasn't my idea, but I said, yeah, I'll take my sperm against your sperm.
Somebody came in a writing meeting. Somebody
shoot it on each other.
Somebody said we should have a contest to see whose sperm has more testosterone. Now, I don't say a word. I'm not even sure it's a funny idea. And Scott goes, I know mine is more than Gary's.
I went to a doctor.
So how is that? But wait a second. You just said that I'm always saying that I'm greater, and I hadn't said a word yet.
All right.
Then it was a whole joke about whose dog is smarter. Now I very jokingly said, I know my dog's smarter than your dog because I know it pisses him off.
Then we were going to put our kids up in an IQ test,
and I said that that's probably not fair because my kids are older than your kids.
I said I'm confident my kid will beat your son.
But how is that me saying that I know I'll win? Every story we just told is you saying that you're better.
I can't rattle them off right now, but you're
rattling them off fine.
You always think so.
Okay, so anyway, getting back to your self-proclaimed Father of the Year, what do you think makes a good dad? Like, what goes into it?
Love for your kids, and the ability to bond with them and spend time with them, and what do you think it is? I don't know.
There's a lot of elements.
Yeah, I think those are a couple. I think spending time. I think sacrificing some of your stuff for what they want to do.
That's a key. That's a key. Sacrificing things that you want to do for things that they want to do, or sacrificing things, or doing things that aren't necessarily fun for you, but are good or fun for them.
I scheduled a practice for this Friday in the heat. I have a practice on Saturday in the heat. I don't want to do either of those
coaching.
Things.
What's non-baseball related activities
that I do with them?
Yeah.
Or non-Scott fun. How about what are things that you do for them that are just not fun for you?
Well, watching kids' movies.
Like which ones?
Playing my kid hockey video game.
Please.
You like playing video games.
Yeah, that is kind of fun.
Is there anything...
Somebody beats me. It pisses me off.
So is there anything that you do that you really don't want to do, but you do it because it's your kids?
Well, yeah, like going to the pool. I hate going to the pool, and I'll go under protest. But I go.
But see, that's like the pool
most of the times, but I'll go a couple of times
under protest
if it's really hot and he wants to take a dip.
What do you do?
Oh, God, please! Don't even have this conversation.
He's got 2 daughters. Everything's unfun.
I'm out of it. I win.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, we talked about JD struggling with his dating. We also learned from Sal that Angie and Steve Brandano might be gay. And Bob Saget stopped by. You never know what you're going to see on the wrap-up show. Check it out.
Look who's stopping by. You never know who's going to drop by.
Yo.
JD, can you give up your seat a second for Mr. Bob Saget?
Hey, thanks, man. How you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing here?
I'm here. I'm a promo ho for my thing, my special. That's what I'm talking about. Comes out on Amazon and DVD right now, on iTunes and all that shit.
The last time I saw you, I think, was at your birthday party that Mr. Stamos threw for you.
That's true, with that margarita machine.
And you were wearing Minnie's head, and he was wearing Mickey's head.
You know, anything that involves head, he wants to be part of. And the mouse. We're not even allowed to have those heads.
I'm well aware. He's told me.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
So what were you guys talking about with chicks and stuff?
We're talking about JD, who works for us, right?
Hey.
He's always trying to get chicks, but I don't even know. How would you explain it?
Well, JD and Ganji as well, they can't get out of the friend zone. They're trapped in the friend zone.
And you can't get laid if you're in that zone.
And when they try to come out and just say, hey, like JD just told a girl, you know what, I'm not going to hang out with you if we're not going to fuck, she blew him off.
Well, I don't blame her because that's the ultimatum. It's already over.
So there's got to be a middle ground somewhere, and that's what they're working, and that's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
What's your advice, Bob?
I would say, consensual sex. You have to kind of be romantic at the start. You can't try to be friends first. You can kind of be friends for a little bit, but you'll just be a bitch boy at that point.
But he does a lot of his stuff online now because he's a little bit.
So you're masturbating.
Well, he does that with chicks on Skype.
Will you masturbate with chicks on Skype?
Man, I don't.
Are you
need
sure
to be
they?
I
mean, is it like chat roulette? Are you sure that they're chicks?
Yes.
So you're not accidentally doing one like
JD. Do you have any fear, by the way?
Of course.
That one day somebody's going to drop your file of you jerking off.
Yes.
Wait,
that's crazy.
Wait, does Bob Saget do chat roulette? Is it possible I'll be on chat roulette and all of a sudden you'll be jerking off on it?
No, that's the worst thing in the world too. I went over to a friend's house when chat roulette came out, and he went, "Hey, look at this, man!" And I stuck my head in, and there was a guy jerking off. I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here! I'm not sticking my face in chat roulette." I just put the side of my dick in it and left it there.
One of the problems that these guys are having is they're saying, like, in this day and age now, like this girl called up the show today, and she talked about how JD tried to fuck her at the bar, and just
and he had to hear that.
Yes,
so you're kind of humiliated a little bit.
Oh, it's not good to hear. No,
but you should try to start anew and not do that philosophy. You should just meet a girl and get out of your head on it, and just if you're attracted to her, try to just be a person. I
try.
But are you with anybody now? Or are you dating?
I am single.
So
I'm 5 months single. But I would,
Do you worry about? Would you worry about when you're out in LA and you go on a date? Like, is TMZ following you around and saying?
Well, I don't. I'm not even going on dates. I'm trying to avoid the problem you're having. I don't even know how to date. I'll meet somebody through somebody, or I'll meet someone and go, "Hey, that'd be a cool person. Maybe she'd be interested or something." But it's hard to go on a date. What do you talk about, salads? And it's like, "Hey, want to see Despicable Me afterward?" That's like your dick goes inside your body and out your ass. There's no sex to be had.
The other fear they have, Bob, is that they're just using. The women are using them to get on the show, like to call up the show and say, "Hey, I went out with JD," and it's a way to get closer to Howard versus actually being into them.
Right, and that's a sycophantal problem. So maybe you need to quit the show.
But have you ever dealt with anybody? Have you ever dealt with somebody and you're like, "Hey, this is going well," and then you find out that they're way too into Full House in like a strange fucking way?
I'm so old now. It's just really fucked up. It's like saying, "Let me get you. I'll pick you up from junior high tomorrow. That'll be fun." I love your show. Well, that's a joke. My joke is I grew up watching you. Good, and I got to go down watching me. So I don't want. Yeah, I wouldn't want some. I'd like somebody now that would say, "Hey, my niece watches," or my kid who's much younger than
Right.
My 28-year-old really likes you. I got to go. Sorry. I'm 70. I'm a big fan of Full House. Want to fuck?
So what about the referral system? Like, do people ever try and set you up outside of the world of the show?
Not really, no.
See, I get the impression his referral system is when he goes out and does live shows. In other words, JD and the gang are going to be out doing a live show.
Yeah.
Here's where we're going to be. And that you just can try to pluck from the crowd, or you tell your Facebook friends, "Hey, I'm going to in the area, come and meet me."
Something like that, yeah.
Right. So that's sort of your referral system.
Yeah.
But does this talking about this on this show right now doesn't exactly help your cause?
No,
does
it doesn't. Not at all.
It's blowing your B game.
It's just blowing everything.
Yeah, but what is your? Are you trying to get laid, or are you trying to get a relationship?
It's
both.
It's more the first because I'm very I've never really been someone's boyfriend, and I don't know how good I would be at that. So
what about the Korean chick in Fifth?
What? Oh, that was 5th grade.
JD, can we talk about the weird conversation we had during the break with Howard? We had this very odd conversation where Howard goes, well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't sleep with somebody that you don't really care about because it sends off a bad message. Oh. And I said, JD could care less about her feelings. No, he just doesn't want to get caught. You don't give a shit. You want to get laid.
I do. If I like someone, if I genuinely like a person, I don't want to piss them off or anything.
But do you have to like anybody you sleep with? Everybody you sleep with?
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, why would I want to sleep with someone I don't like?
You're missing the point.
You sound like you want to get laid, don't you? Maybe you need to just get a woman, which could mean maybe someone that you maybe wouldn't want to introduce to your mom kind of woman. Maybe just
of course you
a dirtier girl.
I see those all the time.
Of course you like somebody that you want to have sex with. You have to like them to some degree. But I mean, you don't...
No, I don't
Are there many girls that you have sex with that you care about past that first moment?
I don't want to make anyone unhappy. I like making people happy. I don't want to make them mad or sad or anything.
But the other thing you've been accused of is that sometimes your standards are a little too high. Like you're looking for the perfect combination, and that doesn't exist. So you're going to have to
listen. That's untrue. It is. I don't know what else to tell you. I like what I like. I don't know. There's no specifics on hair or
bald chicks are cool.
But like I think one of the things that you're not willing to put in the work, and sometimes you meet somebody and you don't like them, and then you go out with them a couple of times and you get to know them a little better, and they become prettier to you in your mind. You like them. You don't seem to want to put in that work.
That's just that. It depends on who it is.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Bob. When was the last time you've had more than 3 dates in a row with a woman, the same woman?
More than 3 dates?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while.
But
because I don't really go out on dates because that would require someone here in New York, and there's.
By the way, that's the most absurd thing. He can't find a girl in New York.
No. I'm not saying I can't find. Listen, I'm sure if I was more social, I could socialize better. I might be able to do it, but I have hardly any social skills, terrible social skills. So, I just sit at home and don't do anything.
Don't you have any friends that you can go out with and talk to?
He doesn't go out. He doesn't like parties. He doesn't like bars.
So you're not a guy that says I want an 8. I don't want to date. That kind of bad guy talk where you want a prettier woman than or a more enthusiastic woman than you think you're qualified for.
No, I don't. I just like who I like. I don't know.
Hey, just a lot of them to be 8s and 9s.
Did Full House ever put out commemorative spoons or anything like that?
What do you want?
No, he's a spoon collector.
I was a spoon. I was when I was below 10 years old. All right. Okay.
I just walked into this, but it's all making sense to me. Now, where do I donate?
Thank you.
Ronnie, you seem to be the leader of these two over there, Benjy and JD.
Here's what's wrong. I know what's wrong with JD. I know what's happening with him.
Hold on one second, Bob. This is Howard's limo driver. I just want to so you understand how
we've met.
Nice to see you.
How are you, man? How's it going?
I'm getting laid a lot more than him.
That's good.
And I'm not getting laid at all.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing better.
No, but he gets laid, dude. I'm telling, because I've been there and I've seen what he's laid.
Not physically.
It's some pretty good stuff.
Oh, so this is just for talk?
No, it's
no. The thing is, like you guys were talking about him getting into a relationship. Now, the problem with what happens with him with girls, he gets involved with a girl. He thinks he's in love, not in love with her, but he really likes her. And then, like down the line, about 3 or 4 dates down the line, after he sees her, she tells him, "Well, I'm sorry, I didn't want to tell you, but I have a boyfriend, or I have a husband that you don't know about," something like that. And that's what happens.
Well, that's a buzzkill.
He gets hurt.
Well, I dealt with something last year that was something like that. So,
but if people keep having boyfriends,
I'm a man.
Do you think it's always true?
No, but she didn't have a boyfriend.
I got that
at
one.
the time.
I got that one. But I'm saying, isn't it sometimes if you keep hearing that over again, doesn't it sometimes just a way out, an excuse for somebody to say, "Oh, I have a boyfriend," excluding that person?
But I mean, I don't know how that doesn't help me.
This process doesn't help you either. Probably
nothing is.
What would help you is to have it not look for it, and then that's all. It'll come to you. That's kind of what happens.
He's been not looking for about 15 years now.
Ronnie,
maybe in about another 15, it'll not come to you.
How does he get out of that trap that you're saying?
He's got to find the right girl. I mean, he's got to find a girl that doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband or whatever, or somebody hidden in a closet.
What does Ganji have to do?
Ganji, he's a lost cause already. Forget about it.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why is Ganji? Because Ganji's certainly more social than JD.
Yeah, but Ganji's more social because he wants to be their best friend. He doesn't want to get laid.
No, I do.
He wants
to
get laid. Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't get laid. That's the whole thing.
Bob had a good point. I don't turn it romantic right away, and that's
you go friend too long. That's the problem.
What Bob said. Yeah,
but you also ought to be a masculine guy and keep your balls about you, even though at home they go away because we all get vulnerable. You don't walk around the house, with spurs on. I don't know.
We actually all do.
Have you considered just kidnapping a woman?
I don't understand because Ganji, first of all, super likable, has pictures from he used to be very, very good looking, and he wants to get married. He's actually like a catch. He has a good job.
I'm still
very
thrown
likable.
that he used to be good looking.
Yeah,
you gotta see old pictures of him.
Yeah, but Benjy, he could have got married twice, and he let them go away. He let it go.
Well, that was maybe at that time he didn't want to, but now he really wants to get married.
It's always too late when he realizes it's too late. It's too late. The girl's gone, and she found somebody else already. That's what happens with him.
Yeah, but I'm working on the current now.
Who is the current?
Yeah, who is?
There isn't one.
No, there isn't one. That's the thing.
I saw you took a picture with the Twinkie. I mean, is there anybody in your life?
Yeah, well, that's it. He puts pictures up of food. There's no girls.
There's definitely girls I meet and I like. Yeah, sure.
So
absolutely.
you get their number.
But I haven't. I do.
Text? Do you guys text? Do you text a girl? Girls like texting some girls.
No, no. No, I don't. I don't I don't know. I just don't make the move. I don't know what it is.
Did you not get married? Why did you not get married both of those times? I know both of the girls.
Both. I would say the first one just wasn't right. It wasn't right timing. Second time, I didn't know if I wanted to get married. So
can I say something?
I think that was wrong.
I think Ganji's gay.
Really? Dude.
Why? Why do you
I
think
talked about this in a meeting as well.
He did.
Did he really?
Yeah. I'm convinced you're gay.
Why? I don't understand.
Just the way you carry yourself. Right now,
dude, I'm fat and out of shape. That's usually sign number one.
Sal, you can't speak generally. You got to give him specifics so he knows what you're talking about.
He's always with his mom. He's with these women that he's strung along for a long time.
Is his mom hot?
I haven't seen her, Bob. But he's had these hot women before that he almost got married to, but he didn't. He always caves in.
But I dated for 10 and
no, you did it. It's called a beard. You did it to appease your family.
Sal, do you think he's aware of it, or is he
no? And then when it came down to it, for him to finally close the deal, he backed out. Why? Because he's gay.
Well, that's fair commitment.
No,
that doesn't necessarily.
It was more of
and then he's dated hot chicks, and he can't get it together with them, and he's always online, and he's talking about just food and stuff and these mundane things. There's never anything sexual about you. Nothing.
What kind of food do you talk about? Hot dogs, bananas, carrots, things like that?
Look at him. He talks about everything.
Pizza mostly.
The whole fucking buffet at the mall he talks about.
Hey, Sal, hold on a second. I understand that you think a lot of guys on the staff.
I think he's gay.
Who else do you think is gay?
Sorry, Steve Brandano.
Okay.
But
why?
For the opposite reasons.
Is there any way you can fill out a report for all this?
I think.
But why do you think Steve is gay?
I think Gange is a closet homosexual. He just can't come to grips with the fact that he likes dick over pussy.
Hey, I'll tell you something. A closet homosexual is probably a good idea because there's clothes in there, so you could change your life.
But Sal, are you saying that Ganji acts on homosexuality and is keeping it from us, or he hasn't even acted on it yet?
I don't think he's acted on it yet.
Okay. What about?
I can tell you pretty much. But I've never acted on it.
Do you think he has any conscious desire? Like, does he see us and
I think when Ganji masturbates at home, he thinks of men. That's the only way you could do it. Personally, privately,
guys. I don't want to be a buzzkill, but I actually have to leave.
All right. Well, tell us what you tell us about your special.
Actually, thinks of what?
Tell us about your
special. This is the greatest thing I've ever walked into in my life, Gary. Thank you for bringing me.
I'm glad to have you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry you got caught up in the relationship.
It's really funny. You guys kind of made my day. I don't know how I'm going to nap now. I've got bad imagery in my head. I hope you all find what you're looking for.
Thank you.
A lot of dudes.
I would be remiss not to go back to Sal's theories on why Ganji and Steve Brandano are gay. And I should point out that Sal is wearing a bright purple shirt. He's tan and wearing makeup.
And he's accusing balls in his life.
Well, that makes me an expert, John.
It does. So go ahead.
There you go. If anybody knows about gayness, it's a guy who licked Richard Christie's taint. Well, it would be me. I'm not gay, but I know gay acts when I see them.
Thank you for stating your qualifications.
Steve Brandano, I'll tell you why he's gay.
Okay.
First of all, He's really prim and proper. He's just super well groomed. I think he
Like
blows,
you.
He blows me out of the water.
He doesn't though.
Because
he doesn't wear makeup.
It doesn't matter. Like his shirts are always perfect, impeccable. His hair, there's never a hair out of place.
So you were literally describing you.
Are you
okay? But I know about this stuff. But I'm saying, hold on. He's another one. Had a hot chick, let it go, gave up drinking. Very manly thing. Very manly. Drinking. Gave it up completely.
Do you know why?
Yes, because I think when he got drunk, he had gay tendencies.
No, do you know why?
When you get drunk, Gary, what do you do? You get horny for pussy. When I get drunk, I'd fuck you, Gary. I think about people.
That's gay.
No, I'm making a point that when guys get drunk, they get horny. When women get drunk, they're generally easier to bang because they're horny for the cock. I think when Steve got drunk, and I could be wrong, he was thinking about dick a lot. He gave it up. How do you get those thoughts out of your head? You give it up.
Are you aware of the medical reason why Steve stopped drinking? There's a medical reason.
Diabetes. I know plenty of people with it. John is the size of Grimace from McDonald's. It doesn't stop him from eating all those goddamn cheeseburgers, and he has diabetes. It's not going to stop Steve.
Third reason.
Great analogy, by the way.
Third reason, he's a pecker. And that's not an insult. The way he speaks, like almost like my wife. When Steve is adamant about something, he has like that wife thing, like, the blackie should be here. You don't understand why. It sounds like my wife when I didn't take out the garbage. He has that inflection and that delivery that reminds me of a nagging woman. So, his personality with that, the fact that he dresses impeccably, that a hair's not out of place, gave up drinking to give up gay tendencies when he's drunk, leads me to believe that he's gay. And with all that said, I think it's wonderful. I think he's a wonderful person, and I hope him and
Sal.
Benjy come out of the closet.
Okay, Sal.
I love them both.
After hearing you
This is tough love.
and analyzing your tough love and your critique, your reasons for Ganji being gay are completely different than your reasons for Steve being gay.
Tomatoes, John.
Your gaydar is fucking broken.
Yeah. No, I'm on both sides of the spectrum, Gary. I got it figured out on both sides. I got the, like there's two types of lesbians. There's the smoking hot one, and there's the butchy ones.
Which type are these guys?
Ganji is like the sweet, lovable muffin, like the one you cuddle with, that he's easygoing. He's the and Steve is more like the wife. Ganji's like the beaten husband. Okay, honey, you got it. And Steve Brandon's like, no, you do that now. We go to the movies now. We're going to see Black Keys tonight. That's how it is.
Sal, there's a lot of you coming out in this critique.
Not one.
Yeah. Really?
All right, I dress nice. I try to look good. I use some cosmetics. I'll admit it. I take care of my hair. I might be metrosexual, but I'm not gay. If I was gay, I'd tell you. If I said to you, John, I don't mind sucking dick, I'd tell you. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, let's not talk about those car rides home, Sal.
Sal, have you...
What, the kid
Sal,
in the trunk?
I know you're into chicks, the way you talk about it and stuff.
I love women.
I swear on my life, I've always thought you might have some sort of weird gay streak in you.
If I had it, I
know.
I'd be happy to
have
share
you
it.
ever thought about that?
No. I really haven't. Not gayness. It just doesn't turn me on.
That pause gave you away, my friend.
Well, I'm thinking about things like when we were younger, like messing around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like when a guy jerks another guy off. Shit that happens to all of us,
I
right?
slept over a friend's house one time and he dropped his pants to show me his penis, and I dropped my pants and showed him mine, and that was it. But
how old were you?
16.
So did I.
I don't know why. I slept over his house, and he just says, "What do you think?" I go, "Not bad." I go, "What do you think of mine?" And that's where it ended.
You may be onto something here, Ben.
I've always thought, like, with your love for Howard, like, you're really looking for a man's love.
No, I'm not looking. I have a man's love. Richard Christie's a man. He loves me dearly. I love him.
You mean like a father love me dearly?
I don't know exactly what it is, and obviously nothing wrong with it. And I know you're into chicks in a way too, but then also you have that whole.
No, not sexually, man. I just don't see it. No, it just doesn't appeal to me. It's just not my thing.
How far have you gone with a guy?
That's it. Just dropping my pants, and I analyzed the penis once with a guy. It was just.
I gotta go back.
What do you mean analyze the penis?
You didn't think at 16 that two guys standing in a room with their pants down, looking at each other's penises was odd?
It was so fast it hit me afterwards. Like, what exactly happened? Like, when I went to lay down. Like,
another lesson he learned after the fact.
Yeah. It was just one of those weird things. Like, that guy, by the way, ended up being gay.
No shit, really?
What is this penis analysis? What are you talking about?
I don't know. We were in the bedroom. We're getting changed to go to bed.
This is the same guy, or is this
same
a different
guy?
Okay.
Drops his pants. He goes, "What do you think of my penis?" I go, "Not bad." I felt like obligated to do.
You're lucky he didn't drop to his knees and blow you.
Were you just being nice, or was it really not bad?
I felt awkward. I felt like, okay, I have to return the favor, and I did it too.
What do you think of yours?
He said, I don't know. I think he just nodded his head, and we left it at that. I don't know.
I think if you were uncircumcised, you'd be gay right now.